What's up, everybody? Welcome to the After Chat.
Let's play a game. You don't even have a call sign. Step up like a man and give us a call sign. And give us a call sign. Step up like a man and give us a call sign. And give us a call sign. Beat it, panties out of a twist. Step up like a man and give us a call sign. Or beat it. Or beat it, panties out of a twist. Step up like a man and give us a call sign. Or beat it.
What's up? Remember, if you're out there fighting on ham radios and somebody sends me those audio files, I might make a song about you. And this is some dudes fighting on ham radio.
Or beat it. Let's play a game. And give us a call sign. And give us a call sign. Or beat it. Let's play a game.
So I have semi-bad news.
Give us a call sign. And give us a call sign. Or beat it. Let's play a game. Get your panties out of a twist.
I have not been able to find
Or beat it.
my Android tablet. I think a child in my home has absconded with it. So I don't know where that's at. So I won't be able to do the Android things, at least unless it's somewhere in the shack. That's possible. I'm looking, though. There's a lot of places to look in my shack, to be honest. TBH. We might not be able to do Android things, but we will get Vara FM running on the D75. But we're also going to take your questions. Guys, if you're catching this before you caught my first video on the Kenwood, the first look video, pause what you're doing because a lot of this context will be lacking. Go watch that live stream we did, trying to go through as many of the features that are outstanding, above what you would expect. In fact, the Digipeat, that reminds me, I got to do that too. A lot of things, but this radio has a lot of capabilities. I think we covered the fact that it hits the power marks. It is a really good sounding radio. It's all the things we expected from Kenwood. It is what feels like kind of what Yaesu did with the FT3 to the FT5, or the never really experienced ID52, but we know the ID52 went through a change to make it compliant for the new chipset they had to use. Because remember, there was a big fire that happened in a factory where many ham radio equipment chips were purchased. All companies purchased them. And it was about the time Kenwood said, like, we're going to take a little break. Well, they took a little break. They came back. We now have the 75, which, for all measure, if you missed out on getting a D74, you're going to pay a little bit of money for it, but you're going to get a really good radio. It's definitely the top end of handheld HTs for ham radio, but I think you won't be dissatisfied by it, assuming you want those features. If you just want a rugged outdoor radio, may not be that radio for you, not to say that you can't make it rugged. So yeah, keep that in mind. But anyway, this is the After Chat. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop over to the Discord. The link is in the description, and we're going to talk to all of our ham radio friends and many newcomers, or at least hopefully newcomers, and answer their questions, because that's what this is about. Amateur radio is such a complicated hobby, and there's feels like sometimes not enough people that are just willing to kind of sit down and answer your questions, and that's what we do. Every Saturday around this time, we spend hours, literally hours, answering questions. So, am I not... You guys don't hear me? Am I not live right now? What's going on? Somebody just said, live stream is over. We are now waiting for After Chat to start. I've started. It's live. Refresh. Refresh your screen. Who is it? This guy? Where is it? DL Weeks? What do you mean? Anyway, all right, here we go. We're going to join the Discord. We're going to chat with our friends. Let's say hi to everybody and hopefully some new hams or hams that are looking for some help. Let's dive in, shall we?
And I'm usually back by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 3.
Cheers to Dawn.
And oh, sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Josh.
cheers to Dawn. Love to hear you, buddy. Glad. I think we missed you last weekend or the weekend before, so glad to hear you out here again. Hopefully everybody's well, having a good weekend. First questions first for everybody. How's Winter Field Day for you? Did anybody participate? Are you participating currently? What's going on?
I'm going to go back out in a little bit. I
Good
I
for
was
you.
out all afternoon, and so somewhere in about 30 minutes or so, I'm going to go back because I really want to get on 40 and see what 40 is like.
I was so W6TRW. That was the club that I was hanging out with today. I planned on actually staying there and spending the night. That would have rendered this live stream impossible. So the fact that the Kenwood came out, I was like, I kind of have to do the live stream from home. But we had a great location for radio. The only downside was that we were running QRP, so we're not making a lot of contacts, but boy, howdy, do they feel good when we make them. I made a contact to Hawaii, which was my big accomplishment, and I was the one who delivered the WinLink email. So we got the WinLink points. Our satellite guy's killing it. We should just build the whole club around that dude and really just take back all the points. W6TRW won their category last year for Winter Field Day, and they're hoping to do it again. But boy, the bands were not great from where we were at. I was on 15 snow cones. I was working 15 as well. What bands have you been working, Don?
I worked pretty much all of them: 40, 20, 15, and 10.
Oh, good for you.
And I was making contacts on all of them, even 40. I got on 40 because that's the only way I would get anywhere close to working Jason. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to try to go out, see if I can get some of those guys in Galveston.
Did you get them?
But no, on 40 I got South Texas. So I got a couple of contacts in South Texas, but I didn't get them.
Mm-hmm.
And but on 40 or 15 was great. I was getting contacts all over 15, and the band was as crowded as 20, which I've never heard before.
Yeah, I maybe it was just where we were at. We were not getting a ton. 15 was nice for me. It felt like I could hop in there and there was space for me to start calling CQ if I wanted to. But since I was running QRP, I figured, I'll just hunt and pounce, and that was nice. That was nice to be able to just jump in there and make the contacts that I could, which did okay with the buddy hex.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one really quick funny story.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I started out, I was parked in the parking lot, and I believe I was headed or pointing. The car was pointing east, and I was having a hell of a time getting anybody to come back to me. And I finally thought, well, wait a minute. What if I just turn around in this parking lot and park the other direction? So I did, and man, after that, it was like night and day difference. People were like, "Man, you're 10 over. You got a great sounding station. What are you running?" And all I did was turn the car around.
That's funny. Were you running ham sticks?
No, I'm running the ATOS 120, and the ATOS 120 is on my right at the front of the hood. And so I'm sure that's why, because most of the back end then was pointing out east.
Mm-hmm.
And truthfully, you're right. I did not hear very many stations much further than Arizona, and the Arizona stations were weak.
Yeah.
So it may have been somewhere where you were at.
I think I got out as far as Illinois. I might have got to the East Coast, but I'm not exactly sure. Connecticut was out there. I heard Connecticut. But all right.
Well,
It's
I
always
got Maine.
oh, nice. It's always fun to catch up with Don, but don't worry, Don's going to be hanging out. Somebody was commenting, Don, that you have a great soothing radio voice. So thanks for being out there. So what we do in the after chat, we got a whole bunch of people in the Discord. I actually saw some friends I know that I haven't talked to in a little while is out here in the Discord, so that'd be nice to hear them a little bit. But anyway, what we do is we ask first-timers who've never been to the Discord before to introduce themselves if they want to. It's like the welcomingest place ever, I promise. Don't worry. And if also they have a question, we take your questions right up front. So newcomers, you get first priority. Your questions get answered first. So is there anyone new on the Discord, first timer, that would like to say hi or ask a question? Come now. Mm-hmm.
Ash, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, you broke the ice. You get 100 internets, man. So go for it.
That's what I'm all about. That's what I'm all about.
How you been, Lars?
Oh, I've been all right. You know, and entering the GMRS world pretty hard right now. So now my brother-in-law is trying to get me to go into ham. Is like, all right, you know what? Let's do this.
Oh, so what do you go by now? Before I don't want to say I don't know what your accounts are that you're running on the socials. What do you go by nowadays?
Lars Corpse, whatever.
Okay.
Either one.
So Lars and I go way back, like a decade now or more at this point, right?
13 years.
13 years, right? 13 years of live streaming. Lars and I used to do. We're active participants in a lot of different live streams, and Lars used to run a Twitch channel and gaming channel, all kinds of other fun stuff. But you started, you kind of messaged me about radio, and I think we kind of talked a little bit about GMRS and ham radio. But now it sounds like you have a brother-in-law that's a ham, so that's fantastic. How's it? I mean, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Where are we going with all this?
Well, so basically, right now, like. I bought my GMRS radios. I got the KG935 plus. I have a Q10G, and I even bought a Redivis repeater just to set up. Cause my area has nothing GMRS repeater wise,
Oh, okay.
so I set up a repeater in my area. So I did all that already. I'm good. But I was like, but my brother-in-law keeps hounding me, so I was like, all right. Well, I saw that there. I forget what the model number is, but I know Ocean makes 935 version, ham version of that radio. It's the same radio, but it's all the other bands. So I wasn't sure if it was worth going into that. If I decide to go for the ham, is that a radio worth the HT worth going for, or should I save up for something more substantial? I have no idea.
So the Wouxun radios are generally pretty good. I've always said that, if you had to go with a Chinese radio, Wouxun would be the one that I would go with. They seem to make high quality radios. They're really robust. I would feel completely confident in taking them outdoors without any problem. There's probably a myriad of people who have thoughts on Wouxun. Or let me do this for people in the live stream chat on Discord. Who owns a Wouxun or daily drives a Wouxun that would like to either sing its praises or comment on it?
I daily drive a Wouxun. I've got an 8H that I absolutely love. I got the 9D mate type thing.
I have that. Or had.
I have a 9D Pro. I just love those radios. They're so solidly built, and they just feel good in my hand. I really love my Wouxun radios. I carry those before I carry anything else.
Yeah. I had a UV9D mate, but I did a giveaway where I gave that one away, and every one of the the UV9D, that's the line.
Mm-hmm.
So what you'll find, Lars, is that Wouxun's kind of weird with their numbering scheme. If it's a UV9 something, so KG UV9 something, you're likely getting a fantastic radio. But there are little variances that may not matter to you. It's almost like the aesthetics. Like, look at the radio and go like, oh, that looks good. Then that's the one you buy.
Oh, and the KG1000 Wouxun is one of the best GMRS mobile radios out there, period.
Oh, yeah, I saw the KG1000, but I ended up not going with that one. I went with the 20-watt version of that. What the hell is it? The XS20G. I think I went with that GMRS radio instead, just because it's a little easier for me to get that powered up and running without buying extra equipment just to get it powered up.
Yeah, right on.
But as far as but I know that when it comes to like GMRS HTs, like I don't want to say they're all generally the same, but in terms of power output, they're all generally the same. There's different options on the HT, like this one has tone scanning, this one doesn't. This one has split tones, this one doesn't. But when it comes to ham, I have no idea what I'm talking about. So I don't know if there's like oh, you don't want to go with this one because it doesn't have this. It doesn't have this functionality. You don't want to be buying. Obviously, I'd be buying it. Just to listen and you get a feel for it. But I don't want to waste my time and money on something that's got no functionality going forward.
Yeah, no, most of them. That's actually kind of an interesting question when you pose it that way. Like I understand GMRS, I get it. Like there's one or two differences. What are the big delineating factors when you go to like a ham radio? Yeah, I can see that as kind of being. To be honest with you, like literally the radio that's like sitting off the side of my shoulder here, the Yaesu VX6 is a fantastic beginner radio, and it's rugged. You can be very confident with that radio. It's a great size. It's not hard to find accessories for it. They're not hard to work with. They're easy to use. I really do like this radio. And that's in a price range of the Wouxun. But to be honest with you, like I'm not against the Wouxun being the radio that you look for either. To be honest.
All right, I'll take that under consideration. Well, I'll let the other new guys have their time. So, but I appreciate the help, though.
Yeah, that's awesome,
Really
man.
do.
Thanks for joining us out here. Appreciate it. All right, who else is new for the first time? I'd like to say hi or ask a question. Go ahead.
I have a quick question if it's possible.
Yeah, go for it.
So for context, I live about 20 miles northwest of Atlantic City, New Jersey, over on the East Coast.
Oh, you're all right. All right. I know someone
Um,
that's in your area, maybe.
I just got an FTDX10 yesterday,
Oh, hey.
and I got a Chameleon Mini, the wire antenna for because I'm still a technician, just to be able to listen in.
Interesting. Okay.
That was what was suggested for me to buy. I don't know if it was like even good for them to suggest that, but I was wondering if there's anything, I guess you could say better, or like something like that's an all-bander
Mm.
that doesn't involve erecting like a tower or a flagpole or something like that just yet.
So, what did you say your license class is again? Sorry, did you?
Tech.
Okay. So, as much as I appreciate you looking for all band, I would like to see you get like a really good 10-meter antenna up. I mean, you can definitely use the Chameleon for that, but you could build like some amazing 10-meter antennas. They're not very big. You could build yourself a Yagi. You could build yourself a Moxon. A Moxon would be really nice on 10 meters. And that way you'd have a better time on 10 meters. As far as all banders go, though, to just make sure I'm answering your question, like literally, Coffee and Ham Radio's end-fed is really good for that radio. There's no reason not to do something like that. It's really gonna. Well, I should have asked the most important question. What's your budget?
So there is no budget, but at the same time, I don't want to spend like 10 grand, right? Like you were
So
looking at
just
that,
give me a number, man.
yeah,
It's fine. Just give me a number.
like somewhere in the 500 to
Oh,
1500 range
okay,
max.
cool. Honestly, like, Kawana's already screaming DX Commander. Can you put an antenna on the ground? Would that work for you, like a vertical?
So I was actually looking at a vertical when I was at HRO yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
but they said that it had to be at least 25 feet off the air or off the ground. That right now isn't possible unless I mount it on the roof, which I don't necessarily want to do.
Okay.
I have 8 acres of land, so
Okay.
there is absolutely no way
So I
that I
apologize.
don't need to. Yeah,
I have to go back a step. Are you asking about all band HF, or are you talking about
correct.
VHF,
Yes,
UHF?
HF.
So maybe the people at HRO didn't understand the context, but usually vertical antennas are ground mounted. They're not 25 feet up. They're mounted on the ground.
Okay, well, they 100% knew HF because um the guy even was looking specifically at anything that could do 6 to 160.
Okay. Well, we probably should dial this back a step, right? So let's dial this back a bit. 160 is probably not the band that you're gonna be like, I gotta get on 160. 160 is not necessarily a fantastic band for communication. It's a fun band and challenging to build an antenna for, but I wouldn't say like that's the band you should target to be part of your multi-band solution. To be honest, I would even potentially bring 80 out of that. If you're not really just a rag chewer, if you're not somebody that's just going to get on the air and I just want to talk to people and just have this long conversation back and forth. If you don't have a problem, particularly with your land space, of putting up a vertical antenna, then it actually is a really nice educating experience to build the DX Commander antenna kit and set that up. It will do 80 meters, but it's going to be a vertical, and then there's going to be a dog leg of wire that's going to come across, and you have to take it to a tree or a side of your house or something like that. Or you could just not do the 80 meters. You could just do 40, 30, 20, 15, 17. You can do whatever bands you want with the DX Commander. And that is well under your price range, so you'd be able to buy the antenna plus feed line, and you'd have a really good performing antenna.
And the DX Commander is available at DX Engineering. So
Yeah, in fact, I already have that website up. Oh, maybe I don't. Hold on.
Did I hear he's a fellow Jerseyan?
Yeah, I'm over by Stockton College.
Ah, okay. Another another poor soul in this state.
So here is a DX Commander 9 HF multi-band for $500, and there's the DX Commander Classic for $350. So at $500, just giving as a starting point, if you were to get that antenna, the Classic, you could buy yourself some nice coax to go along with it, pretty much whatever run you needed, and you'd be under $500. Good. That's good. I mean, to be honest, if you don't have a lot of like really close in RFI like noise or whatever, the DX Commander's and you said you're on 6 acres, so you probably don't. The DX Commander is going to be a great antenna. Plus, with that antenna, you'll get DX in Jersey. Oh my God, you're going to be killing it into Europe, into all kinds of parts of the world.
Yeah, with the Chameleon right now, on what the hell's the band? I forget. I think it's 40 meters. It's either 40 or 80. I can hear Portugal and stuff pretty clearly.
No problem. Yeah, like, okay, Portugal is not like you could wake up in the morning and hear Portugal. Like that's probably easy from where you're at. Like realistically though, you'd be able to get much better than that on to different parts of Europe without a problem. With the DX Commander.
by the way, be aware that you can also transmit on 6 meters. Now, 6 meters has been open a little bit this in the winter. Just a few days ago, it was open to New Zealand, but you can, like in the summer, starting around May or June, it'll open up for six months or so, and you will be able to get all over the country on 6 meters. So consider maybe a 6 meter Yagi or something, or 6 meter antenna, whether it be a Yagi or whatever. The DX Commander can do 6 meters as well, but I find that a ground mounted 6 meter antenna doesn't work nearly as well as a 6 meter good and high in the air. So definitely look for that band as well.
Highly recommend you get your general though. It sounds like you got the right mindset. You're already diving deep in. So maybe you're already studying. So if you are, don't worry about it. You'll get it.
Yeah, I'm not really too worried about like in terms of getting the general because I know I'll pass the test as long as I study for it.
Yeah.
Like when I took the technician test, I think I studied for like 1 day and went in and passed it without a problem.
Didn't you probably already have the mind for general? General's going to be a little bit harder though, so just keep that in mind. It's a longer test and it's a little bit more challenging with the questions, but yeah, you should be fine.
With the tech, I didn't even really. I just memorized the questions, and then the math stuff is obviously stuff I'm older, so it's stuff that I was taught in school. It's not stuff that's taught nowadays.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Right on. Well, hopefully that helps your at least answers your question. So, right on. All right. Anybody else in there with a question like to say hi? Go for it.
Hey,
Yeah, I
Josh, I
can do
got
that.
one.
Oh, I
So
saw
by-
radio. I saw Radio Made Easy. We'll go to him really quick. What's up, man?
Hey, man, nice hanging out with you in Utah. I had a quick one I thought maybe it'd make for interesting discussion. I'm trying to find a weatherproof solution to put on a UTV. So, UHF, VHF capable weatherproof radio. Prefer a mobile, but the way I'm going right now is probably a VX6 with the weatherproof speaker mic. But I was wondering if any other ideas out there.
So the VX6 is good because it's got like the connectors screw in and they are watertight, so that makes them nice. But what is the purpose? What do you need it for?
It's basically just for adventuring and enjoying it while in motion. So it could be in the rain. It's an enclosed UTV, but just side by side, kind of for fun, and thinking something that can stand up to a little bit more abuse than your standard setup.
In a UTV, it would be nice to have 50 watts. Does anybody know if there's a ham radio that is weather resistant that could go in a UTV in the chat? I don't know of one.
Dare I say it, Motorola?
Yeah, well, okay. Assume that, well, I mean, do they have one that's like turnkey that you can just buy it and it's set for ham radio frequencies, or do you got to play that game?
Same as your radio, same as your XTS 5000. You can program it on the fly with FPP or use CPS.
Nah, yeah.
And they make tons of cool GMRS radios that are weatherproof.
Yeah,
but I
what's
haven't
the
found
deal
any
with
ham
that?
mobiles.
So do we have a weatherproof ham radio mobile? You just buy. Dare I say the PowerWorks can do it? That would be interesting if the PowerWorks can do it.
Wasn't there a
That'd be hilarious.
TYT that was sort of waterproof?
I don't know that there's any waterproof mobiles.
Yeah,
but
that's it. The 8600.
which
Just
one?
scroll down a bit, Josh. Down the other way.
Oh.
Sorry, up a bit. Scroll
know,
up a bit.
There's
Yeah,
a lag.
confused.
There's a
Just
delay.
there on the right hand edge. I think that one was supposed to be waterproof.
Oh,
but
the
I could be
TYT?
wrong. The TH-8600 Mini.
Let's see if we pull it up here. It says waterproof. It says waterproof, and you would do better at 25 watts than on a handheld. So that might be the way to go.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give that one a shot. That's it's disappointing. Maybe something will come along someday, but not really happening in the ham world, only in GMRS for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know, because I guess there's not a huge need for it at this point, but I think that's growing as people are doing overlanding more. And
Just to comment, aren't most GMRS radios accidentally ham ones?
Say that again.
Not really.
What did you say? Aren't most GMRS radios what?
Well, aren't most GMRS radios reprogrammed ham radios anyway?
Some are. The Chinese one. Well, they're all Chinese, but some are. Some are like repurposed amateur radios, or vice versa, for that matter. But to be honest to the question, yeah, I mean, this is probably a space when you consider there's so many people that are on these UTVs now, and they're putting miles on them, and they're going way back country. It would be nice if there was more weather-resistant mobile radios that could be used in that space, for sure. So yeah, that's a good comment.
That's exactly my thought. And I was looking at some sort of enclosure, possibly with some of the radios I like, but there's no way to weatherproof the head unit. So yeah, I think I'll check out that TYT though. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for joining us out here. I really appreciate it. You know, the thought is that probably most mobile radios are pretty weather resistant to begin with. Like it's a metal chunk, right? You have to do considerable work to take them apart, and they're pretty packed in. If you completely submerged it in water, yeah, no, that's probably not going to work. But to be honest with you, if you submerge any kind of radio in water after you pull it out, the speaker's all screwed up. You got to go in there and blow all that stuff out. It's generally kind of a pain. So, yeah, no, it's a good comment though. All right, who's next? Anybody here for the first time that'd like to say hi or ask a question? We're taking all
Yeah,
newcomers to amateur radio. Oh, I saw Radin. Is it Radin? Go ahead.
it's Raiden,
Don't you need an I in there?
but no, that's Raiden from the old video game Raiden, the top scrolling airplane game.
Oh, that Raiden. I'm thinking of like Metal
Mortal
Gear
Kombat.
Raiden or Mortal Kombat
Mortal
Raiden.
Kombat.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
No.
Go for it. Go. I get it. You went old school on everybody, so you can claim that's the right spelling because you went old enough. I get it. You got it, man. Go for it.
Well, hey, I wanted to thank you. First of all, I do your crash course for tech license in the car when I'm commuting,
Nice.
and I'm passing that test at like 95%, the practice test. So I just got to find a test and go do it. So
Can you test online?
I appreciate that. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Aren't they worried about cheating or?
Well,
Oh,
they do things to avoid
well,
that. But
shoot.
if you go to hamstudy.org/sessions, you can sign up for an online test as early as maybe even tomorrow.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna have to jump on that. But yeah, I got a couple questions. So I haven't set up my radios other than I got two Baofeng UV9Rs that claim to be waterproof, but I got them for $26, so I'm like, hey, cool. And then my idea was to just go with really cheap mobiles and really cheap, ham radios, handhelds for, the higher bands.
Mhm.
And so I have a 70 centimeter repeater, but I live up in the mountains, and it's only 5 miles away, but I cannot reach it. There's too much mountain in the way. It's almost straight up and down. So I kind of picked the wrong radios to play radio, and I'm now out of money because I bought antenna analyzers and coax and all kinds of stuff. But I got a little bit left, and I was telling these guys before you popped on that I'm looking at the Alinco D135 just to get on 10 meters and play. And was that a radio you would recommend? I heard you mention it in one of your old videos with the tech prepper, I think.
The DR135 is kind of like a form-fitting radio. Is that the monoband 2 meters?
Yes,
right?
it's monoband. Well, they have a 10 meter.
And you're looking for a monoband 10 meter?
Well, I'm just looking for something cheap. Anything that'll get me on 10 meters because I'd like to build an antenna, and
Yeah.
I've got all the other stuff. I just want to not kill the pocketbook. Less than $500 would be perfect.
So, okay, so good. Thank you for giving me the most important question is what's your budget? Is your goal to just do 10 meters? Are you planning on getting your general? Do you want to advance to other bands of operation for more capabilities, or what are you thinking?
Definitely. Like I'm
Okay.
studying for CW. I would like to go into general later, but right now I'm taking my test and the airwaves are silent because I live up in the Sierra Nevadas, and so I can't play radio.
Mm-hmm. So this is where, like, specifically because you mentioned your budget as being $500, it's probably the G90. The G90 is an all-band, all-mode. Is it all-band? Does it do 6? I don't know that it does 6. I can't remember. But you can buy their bundle, like, right now on over at Radioddity, which has the tray and the interface for doing digital modes, and it's like $450. That's like
Oh, nice.
that's right in the wheelhouse. I have a link in the description to Shegu if you want to use it. There's a code to get a discount. I think if you use the code Josh, you get a discount on that. I think on top of the bundle. You'll have to tell me if you try it. So the thing is, and hear me out, I made a video, multiple videos, talking about how I recommend people do try 10 meters out and get on 10 meters. It's fantastic as a technician. You should be using it right now. With that said, the mobile, single mono band 10-meter radios, if that's like all you can afford at like $250, $300, $320, whatever, like, okay, yeah, definitely go that way, right? But the thing is, at some point, you're probably going to look at 10 meters and go like, I should be able to get more out of this. And the answer is you can. You just get to a different band, and you can get into the nighttime bands, and, you can have a great time playing radio all day long. The G90 is going to be the radio that allows you to do that. It's going to be the way to go for most people starting out on a budget, from my point of view.
Question.
Oh, okay. And then you can get an amp later and use it as your home rig, right?
So you can, and there's generally two options on this. You can get an amp, which is just like, it's like an extra box that you have to put on with extra cables and all that stuff, which for a lot of people it's totally fine. Or you can just sell the G90, which they generally, retain their price. Okay, the Chinese radios don't retain their price as well as the Japanese radios, being honest with you. You can give it to somebody
Right.
and get them interested in the hobby, if or sell it to them, a new ham, and then upgrade. Or you don't sell it, and you use that as your portable radio for doing parks on the air, and you have a base station radio. So a lot of the guys that you hear talking about parks on the air or doing portable operations, they get frustrated in making one radio their all the time everything radio, and they'll have like a base station radio in their shack or wherever is comfortable for them to operate radio. And then they'll have like a bag or a box that will be their Go box, their Go radio kit. And the G90 is fantastic as a portable Go radio. So that's kind of where I'm looking at pointing you right now for the price range you gave me. So
Okay.
yeah. Now Sean Weiland
Well, I
does make
appreciate
a
it.
really good one caveat. Sean Weiland does make a really good point. There is a radio called the Yaesu FT891. You can get them at discounted prices as low as like I think $730 something dollars. I think that was the lowest I saw, but that was years ago. Up to $800. And in fact, you know what? We'll just pull up the website for where they're at right now. That is a
I think-
100-watt portable radio. Oh my God! Are you kidding? No, I'm totally wrong. You can get it for $679 right now. There you go. So this is a 100-watt radio, and that would work in multiple instances of whatever you wanted to do.
Well, that's right around the price I saw. There was a FT710, I believe, on sale for like $750 or something like that.
Yeah.
Is the 891 better than that one?
Then the FT710. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? We got to start having that discussion. Is what radio would you? So great question. Are you going to primarily operate in the field, portable, or are you going to operate from home?
I would primarily be operating from home. I did eventually want to make a field rig, but I'm trying to learn CW because those options are cheaper, smaller. I think you get more power out of the CW. That was going to be the way I went. Get a home rig and then go do portable with CW.
So the answer to most of your question is the 710 is the way to go for sure. If you can swing a 710 right now, that'd be great for you. The 710 is I think it's priced. It's insanely priced right now.
And that's only until the 31st, according to Kruk.
Yeah. So that would be $899 for the field. So
okay.
So that's a jump. So here, okay. So let me then you hit me with the CW. Are you planning on making CW like your primary mode of operation? Is that your goal?
Out in the field, yes. I was planning on starting with building a true SDX and maybe moving on to, a K2 or something like that?
KX2, yeah. Okay, so those are
KX2.
future goals. Gotcha.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if you could do if you could just do CW as a full-time gig, then going back to the G90 at 20 watts, that's pretty much all you need. Like you can do a lot with 20 watts in a G90 on CW specifically. For everything else
Right.
though, 100-watt radio, yeah, that's totally the right answer. The way you should go. If you can get a 100-watt radio, you should.
Great. Okay,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Anybody else have any ads or they'd like to make on the
Hey.
Discord? We'd love to hear it.
If I can, I want to jump back to something he said earlier. You're not able to hit any 2-meter machines. You said, where in the Sierras are you?
I'm in West Point, California, which is above Jackson. It's up Highway 26. Literally population of like maybe 600 tops.
I'm familiar with the area. Look up November 6 ICW, N6 ICW repeater. You should be able to hit that. Yeah, it won't be the strongest signal, but even with a handheld, you should be able to hit it from up there, no problem. It has great coverage from Merced all the way up to Chico with multiple repeater inputs. So that's a 2-meter machine I would suggest. As far as radios go, the 891 is nice, but for base station and even for field use, the FT710, even for CW later on, is definitely the way to go, in my personal opinion.
It's a much newer radio, and much as people will speculate on, or much newer means a lot different things to different people, but it is a newer radio. The 710 is probably the way to go if you save your money for it.
Comment?
Go ahead, comment.
Just to remind the young gentleman, in the Discord, there's a lobby called Testing Questions. If you just type in there, you want to do a test, they will pretty much organize you one within a day or two.
That's a good
So when
point,
you're ready
too.
to take your test, go into Testing Questions on the Discord and type it. It is pretty much the quickest way to do it.
So yeah, if you go up a little bit on this server, this Discord server, to Testing Questions and say, hey, I'm looking to take my test, it's very likely they might put together an ad hoc team of the VE Special Forces and give you your license test immediately.
I think I saw something in the live stream chat earlier that they have a Special Forces team already set up tonight.
Yeah,
There
there
you go.
usually is a testing session during the live stream.
Jody, what are you doing? Don't talk about the clubhouse where we're trying to use our VE team. Come on now. I'm just kidding. Everyone's welcome. There's lots of great VE teams. But yeah, on this server, you could go right up there and find a session. I think our team might be faster responding. I don't know. We're the top level special forces of VE teams. All right, let's take one more question, then we're going to say hi to our YouTube friends. We got a number of YouTubers in the house and other content creators that we want to get to. So, anyone who is new for the first time, like to say hi or ask a question, go ahead.
First time question?
Matt, I saw Matt. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was kind of skipping off from work on yesterday afternoon.
Good for you.
And was sitting in the truck. I'm all mobile. I don't have a base station, but I had my brand new FT891 and a Pac-10 in-fed halfway thrown up through a tree, and probably was hunting POTA for 2 hours, 3 hours, just kind of getting used to the radio, playing around all the bands, making good contacts. And like I saw Hawaii a guy in Hawaii, 2 or 3 guys in like Canada, Ottawa, up further north, and I could semi hear them, but not really well enough to make a contact. So I just kind of ignored it.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I live, a little background, I live in West Texas, super dry, 9 inches of rain a year, super dusty. In comes a small rain shower,
Mm-hmm.
just enough to get wet, just enough really to keep me in the truck. Like, I'm just going to stay here. I really should go to work, but I'm not going to get wet.
Okay.
And like all of a sudden, the bands just opened up. I made contact with Hawaii on 15 meters. I made 4 contacts within 5 minutes to Canada. And I just wonder, was it just happenstance, or is there anything to added moisture to the, like it all of a sudden felt humid, which we don't ever get like humid air, or maybe it knocked down the dust and opened up the bands a little for me. But it was like I had enough experience over the last 2 or 3 hours that I kind of felt like I knew what was going on. And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes after it started to sprinkle, it went bananas on me. So might not be anything, but I was just curious. It seemed too coincidental for it to be nothing.
So, okay, a couple of things there. The moisture in the air is probably not a big deal. The moisture on the ground, though, that can have a difference in how capable you are in getting all the power out the wire. So you could have been more effective with your communication, your
So I
transmit
had
power.
nothing was actually touching the ground.
Oh,
I
it
had
doesn't necessarily matter. It's like a
okay.
ground composition, right?
Okay.
With that said, that would have been like a marginal factor. More likely, there was a band change, and band changes are generally atmospheric conditions that are changing. For everybody that didn't know, it was mentioned when I was out at W6TRW that the solar flux index was like 160 something today, which is really good. So that sometimes also will have volatility. Band conditions can change on the fly. 5 minutes to 5 minutes, you could have a different path to different parts of the country, particularly if you're on a omnidirectional antenna. So you might have just caught this cool band opening and you were making wild contacts, and then it can just close up as fast as it opened on you. And, just that's kind of the joy of HF, is that sometimes you get these wild band openings. It's largely the product of the atmosphere.
So if one band is open, would that mean the other bands act the same way? Because I
It
was on
depends.
10, 15, 17, 20.
Yeah. It depends. Everybody loves when I answer that way. It depends. So the higher frequency. So if you're on 15, the higher frequency bands were probably also experiencing some kind of shift, and there'd be some weird openings of capability. So like 20 might have probably experienced a similar level of goodness, but not necessarily. 17, which is not really a band we use for contesting, might have also experienced it. But if you went to like 40 meters might have been like not great, particularly at that time.
Yeah, 40 meters was crap
Mm-hmm.
basically all day.
Yeah. So I mean that's a yeah. So you just caught a wild band opening, and you got to make full effect of it. So that's great.
Sweet. I appreciate it.
Yeah, good question. All right, let's say a big hello to our friends from the YouTubes and the other places that they make content. So let's go down the list here. I think Frank is the first one. Frank, I believe you're the first. You're a good gatekeeper of this, so I think you're number one. Right?
I don't see anyone above me tonight, so yeah, I'm the first one tonight.
What have you been up to, man?
Good evening. Not much. I'm going to do a quick recap here. Last week, nobody knew it except those that were there. I was at Quartz Fest a week ago Friday until last Wednesday.
Oh, how was that? Live updates from Quartz Fest. Go for it.
It was fun. Gordo had a couple great presentations while he was there. I got to meet him in person for the first time in 20 years of being a ham. So I got to get a good eyeball with Gordo. I met a bunch of the other YouTubers that came along, like
who all
Randy.
Came? Yeah, Randy. Who else?
Randy was there. Vern Six, What's Up with Six, was out there.
That's right.
Chuck, KK6 USY Ham Radio Adventures, and Steve, temporarily offline, came in on Monday morning. So there were a bunch of us there. We all had a bunch of fun. I went out to Kofa National Wildlife Refuge and I activated POTA.
Nice.
I had lots of fun with that. I had 5 activations across 4 days because I used the UTC time change along with 2 midday activations. I got in the log 757 contacts, including Spain on 15 meters, England, England, Brazil, Venezuela, and Japan on 10, and VK on 20.
Wow.
So
That
the
is a
DX
major
was,
success. Good for you, dude.
and
That's amazing.
that was that. Most of those were across 2 different activations, but in the same day for us. So it was absolutely fantastic. Drove to, unlike everybody else, I did the straight 12 and a half hours drive from the northern San Francisco Bay Area all the way down there and back because I didn't have time for anything else.
Mhm.
But I had fun. Tim, WW8L, did a great POTA presentation. I was able to get some video of both Gordon's presentation and Tim's, and I'm going to be working on editing that in the coming weeks, along with the POTA activation video I have. So look for a lot of video coming out on my YouTube channel, probably late February, early March.
Very good, man. Congratulations.
Oh,
Late February. Are
I,
you how deep stacked are you on videos?
I have about 8 in the queue that I have to edit, but with work I have to edit when I'm not working or sleeping.
Uh-huh.
So, it's going to take some time to get everything processed. I'm on a laptop, so it doesn't go very fast either on the editing.
Okay.
And I will say this. I'm sure everybody in the YouTube and Discord knows the call sign K7CAR, Kent, the POTA extraordinaire on FT4 and FT8. He does nothing but digital modes.
Mm-hmm.
At POFA, I went out there and I was only expecting 2, maybe 300 contacts. He is the park leader with 8 activations and 686 digital contacts.
Mm-hmm.
In 8 activations. In 5 activations, I got 757 sideband contacts. So while I'm not the top number 1 activator, I have number 1 contact list out there now. So it goes to show you what sideband can do with some dedication compared to the digital modes. I'm not dissing the digital modes. I love them myself, but I wanted to throw that out there too.
Yeah. I'm generally traveling so light that I almost always go single sideband when I do parks on the air. As much as I love to do FT8, I think everybody knows that. I just end up going voice most of the time when I do it. I don't know. Hopefully we can turn that into CW one of these days. I would love to be CW only because then I could really get away with like postage stamp size radios that don't take up any space in my pocket. But you know how that goes. Well, thanks, Frank. Appreciate you joining us out here and sharing your insights and answering questions. So let's move on down to the Gray Man POTA. I think I saw him. There he is. What's up?
Hey, not much tonight, Josh. Just actually kind of recovering from a rough day out at POTA. Met up with Carlos, K9 Oscar Lima from northern Indiana, the skydiver extraordinaire, life at terminal velocity. So we started out to film the activation, and it didn't really happen. We spent more time doing what good ham radio operators do, and that was chewing the fat and not really operating the radios.
Right.
But we got a twofer activation in today, and then the rain came, so we headed out. Didn't do any Winterfield Day, but I'll probably activate some or operate some from the house tonight.
Nice. Very good. Well, thank you for joining us out here. Appreciate it. Ham radio for non-techies is next. What's up, man?
Hey, Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Little underslept, but other than that, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, it's been a long day for me today. Went down to Galveston, meet up with all the guys down there, do Winterfield Day.
Yeah, what's going on? Give us the live update because obviously K8MRD is not here and we don't have the rest of those guys. So what's been going on?
Yeah, they're all over at Jason's, I guess, getting hammered. Not to be confused with the logging software, but the drinking results. But we had about 4. I think we had 4 stations set up today.
Mm-hmm.
We set up the Buddy Hex, which was kind of cool. I got to set that up for the first time and actually play with it and stuff and learn about it. That was cool.
Oh yeah, it's a fun antenna to build. Actually, if you've never done it before, it's a fun antenna. Having to set it up and then take it down in 3 or 4 hours, not recommended. That's
kind of what we did.
it's if you got multiple people to do it, it's faster for sure. It doesn't
Oh
feel
yeah,
as bad.
yeah,
but
definitely makes it.
I
A lot
was like,
faster.
I was the guy today that knew about it. The club W6TRW, they bought it, and they were like, "Oh, come out, we'll do a video, we'll do all this stuff, it'd be great." Little did I know they were like, "Oh, we needed somebody to show us how to do this." So have Josh come out and show us how to build the damn thing because we bought one and now they know how to do it. But you know, they're smart guys. They're all engineers. They know how to fix it. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it was cool having that. Then he had a triplexer to attach to that. So we had 3 different radios running off that one antenna. I think we were running 20,
15 and 10.
and 10.
Yeah, we did we did the same thing. We did the same thing.
Well, we were also running 6 meters, and then we had a couple other guys that were running 2 meter 440 and 220, and we had satellite. We had a dedicated guy doing CW. And,
oh, nice.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Everybody just kind of rotated around doing stuff, and a lot of it was just, I was just kicking back and chatting and meeting new people for the first time. A couple of people came in town. Shane from Ham Radio Clubhouse and this side of the radio
cool.
actually flew into Houston this morning, grabbed a rental car, came down to the park, stayed till about 3:30, and went back up and flew back up home.
That's
that was
cool.
cool.
That's super
Yeah.
cool. God, it
Yeah,
sounds like your setup was almost identical to mine, except we were all QRP.
We only had one guy, I think, running QRP. He had his 705 out, and he was doing some stuff.
Well, we were just running as ham radio heroes, right? Because we know QRP is for heroes.
Yeah. And people who enjoy frustration.
yeah, for sure.
But no, overall, we had a good time. We ended up packing up. I came back up to my place, and all the rest went over to Jason's for dinner and drinks and stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, I had a good day.
Well, appreciate you joining us out here. Thanks.
Thank you much.
Thanks for the live update. All right, let me go back here and make sure I've got the next person in line. Actually, I don't know who the next YouTuber is or content creator.
Looks like Prep Ham Paul.
Prep Ham Paul? Where are you, Paul? Shout out to Paul. Go ahead. Oh. Your moment in the sun, your moment in the sun. Go for it, man. All right, well, we can come back to Paul. Paul, when you get back, somebody tell Paul. Oh my gosh, what is this? Who did this?
Away, Josh.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I wasn't planning on saying anything. I'm just sitting here listening like I always do. So I'm one of those that just lurks in the background. I don't make regular content, but I have been building it. Just tower climbing and things I've experienced, trying to help other people get through the same stuff I've gotten through, and I just post stuff as I can.
Nice, man. Well, if anybody who's listening or anyone, the YouTubers that were just talking, go ahead and share your channels and post. Go ahead, tell everybody about your channel. That would be great. So go ahead and do that. All right, let's go back to some questions. Is there anybody in any chat? Now we're taking Discord and YouTube, anywhere you're watching me right now. If you have a question, type it into the chat. And we'll see it. If you say question or at Ham Radio Crash Course is going to be better so that I can see it and I can actually use it. I'll get notified of it. And we'll take your questions. Go ahead.
Question?
Go ahead, Mike.
Just about what you were doing with your Bluetooth installation on the 75.
Mm-hmm.
You had the external antenna plugged in.
Yes.
Is there going to be enough RF escaping from that bit of coax? Or more likely, is it going to receive because it seemed to receive the signal from your little ICOM gadget, but it didn't seem to be able to communicate back. And I was thinking, look, hang on, the aerial's on the roof. And I know in Bluetooth mode, they go into extremely low power, so you don't activate everybody's Bluetooth in the street.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, maybe if you put the rubber ducky on, maybe that might loop then, because, you know what I mean? But I didn't know whether they had a separate Bluetooth antenna, or am I just being a really OM? So just a silly question.
I got to say, Mike, you are usually spot on with everything you say, but the device, there's literally a Bluetooth radio inside the radio that has its own antenna. It's not using the external. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I wasn't quite sure how Bluetooth was enabled because it's a bit before my time with radio telephones. They didn't have Bluetooth dongle gadgets.
right.
They still had the pull-up telescopic aerials. You know what I mean?
Bluetooth is a significantly higher frequency. It wouldn't even work with that. So
No, I had to wind up my telephones when I used them. You know, the little thing on the side.
yeah. Oh, no. This is one of those antennas that's printed on the PCB. That's like the little crosshatch, like angled back and forth jobber. It's not the same kind of thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, good question. Because I mean, people are going to ask that. It's like you made it too long. There's too much copper in the line. Boy, howdy. Going back to the topic of this video, and we haven't got any questions on the D75. So, I mean, I think it literally comes down to if you miss the boat on a D74 and you can't find a used one, then the 75 might be the option. For some of you diehard APRS people that are digipete, they're all about digipeating or want the capability. I've always been a little bit dubious of doing any full duplex or crossband repeat, not full duplex, crossband repeat or digipeating on a handheld because like your capabilities are limited. Usually, if you want to be some kind of a digipeater, you want like 50 watts or something along those lines. It will do it, and it's probably effective in lots of situations, but the price is very high. I'm really curious how this works out for them. I like it. I as much as I like the D74, I don't know necessarily that I would need the D75. I hate to say that, but kind of that's where I'm at right now. I don't know. Like, what do you guys all think? For everybody in the Discord chat, let's take your live feedback on the D75. What do you guys think about it?
Does it do crossband repeat? That's a good question.
No, it does not. Well, wait. Does it do crossband repeat? I don't think it does. Somebody fact check me on that.
Well, that was a question in the Discord there, so I thought I'd ask it because that's an interesting question.
Well, anybody else? What are your thoughts on the D75 while I look up the... No thoughts. Nobody has any thoughts on the D75.
Well, I mean, you haven't yet tested the D-Star on the your own talk.
Oh, that's true. I haven't put it up
I'll
on.
get back to you when it gets into my price range. That's what I gotta say.
So I'm assuming it does now that I'm looking at some of this stuff, and we'll pull up the manual on it. I don't want to be incorrect as much as possible, even though I'm doing it kind of live here. But don't wait with bated breath on me waiting to figure out this answer. Go ahead, guys. Tell me what you think about the D75. Go ahead.
I had another question about Winter Field Day. There was people giving out weird sections like 1S, and then there was parks on the air. Are we supposed to know where the parks on the air frequencies are, and not disturb them during Winter Field Day, or
No.
what's the deal there?
No, so a lot of people that were doing parks on the air during Winter Field Day were in a park. They were doing Winter Field Day in a park. Generally, Winter Field Day is about getting outdoors and into the field, and it just so happens that a lot of those locations are in a park. So when they got out there, they were doing simultaneous Winter Field Day and parks on the air. So that's kind of how a lot of people find some of the other folks. In fact, I should have probably spotted myself on parks on the air for W6TRW. As far as the extra bits, those letters, so that's called the exchange. Usually in a contest, there will be some kind of information to exchange. So today, W6TRW was running 6 Oscar, and the O in Oscar means outdoors, and our division information was ORG, which is Orange County. So that's the 2-part information exchange that goes along with the information you heard on the air.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know why somebody would give me a 1S as their exchange. I was like, that doesn't seem right at all.
Yeah, they thought that you were working the contest. Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of people that were. So I do have the manual here, so I'm gonna look up the. By the way, that's the box it comes in. Cardboard style, as all the HTs are these days. But yeah, go ahead. I'll go back to the chat or Discord on the thoughts on the D75. Boy, howdy, it's literally a book that it comes with.
I got a question for you about that then.
Go ahead.
Okay, so it's a really expensive radio. What
Yes.
justifies this at that price range in comparison to another radio in its class, like say the ID50 from ICOM, which is about half the price? What does this thing do that's so much better or different than something that's a much cheaper
Yeah.
price?
Yeah, and that's a realistic comparison. If you don't do APRS and you don't need the TNC, then I don't know. Then I don't know why you'd necessarily jump up.
I mean, it comes close to the price of an HF rig.
Yeah, we're literally talking about people that their budget is $500, and we're like, oh, here's a $750 handheld. I mean, oh, good point. It does 220, Michael Rohr. Yeah, it is tri-band, so you do get that. I always, you know what, I gotta say, I will be honest here. I often forget that radios have 220. Like the VX6, I sometimes forget it has 220, and I'm thinking to myself, it's like, oh, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Does that?
Ooh, I got a good question.
Go ahead. Question. So here, okay, I will say this is a big tome of information, and I'm trying to go to the back to the index to look up crossband repeat, and I can't find an index. I'm finding how to recycle it and other things, but like I just want the.
Well, it'd have to be full duplex, why not?
Functional question.
Okay, so there was a I had a really good question. Let's go with that first, and then I'll take.
Oh yeah, so okay, well it's actually two. Does it have a built-in sound card actually? That's kind of the dummy question. Like, can you do FT8 over 2 meters or something like that?
It doesn't do single sideband, so you can't do
okay,
that.
Yeah.
But yes, it has TNC data capability through the USB port.
The other question, oh boy, I forgot.
Okay. Next one. Go ahead. No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead. Who was the person they said a question? Go ahead.
That functional question about TH-D75.
Yeah, go ahead.
There was a question in your the live video. Does it do? Oh, good Lord! Now I've lost it. That within one channel, can you transmit on one band and receive on the other?
That's
the importance of that is using a crossband repeater as an ad hoc short range repeater in the field.
So
is it capable of that?
Can you program a channel that will transmit on one frequency and receive another? Yes. Can you transmit on that frequency while listening to the other channel or the other band simultaneously? I do not believe so.
No, that's not the thing. Can you set up a channel to transmit UHF and receive VHF?
Yes.
If you have a crossband repeater in the field, an ad hoc short range crossband repeater, you can use that to talk to each other without. No.
Yes. Yeah. No. I hear you. So I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. The answer to that first question is yes. You can program a channel that has VHF transmit, for instance, and UHF receive.
Thank you, because my Aces will do that. The ICOM will not.
So, okay, on the A band, or like, do you mean just have? Oh, I see what you're saying. Wait. So you might have to just listen on the B channel on that frequency and transmit on the A channel. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. But with my Asus, within one channel, I can program channel number 23
Mhm.
It transmits VHF, listens UHF.
Like it splits back and forth?
Yes, it's a crossband split.
I gotcha. You should be able to do that. I would be shocked if you can't.
Well, my Yaces do it, and I would assume my ICOM ID51 Plus would, but it does not. It's not capable.
Doing split?
Yeah, but split band. I know.
Split frequencies on the ICOM, yes, but one band to the other, the band split, no.
So I'm literally trying to run through the manual to find like doing crossband repeat. I'm not seeing crossband repeat.
Well, that's not crossband repeat.
I know that was a previous question that was crossband repeat. So I was looking through the manual trying to listen to your question. So KD7SWH says the D72 does split band memory. So we should probably try and see if we can do it. This is a good opportunity to get
The
back
Kenwood
on the radio.
software is out for the D75.
Let me see if we can. Oh, maybe we'll just download the software. We could do it live. How do I want to do this?
Though?
Yeah, but Chirp sometimes won't do some of those fancy bits. So let's get off of that for a second.
I remember that good question. It was the 220 output. You could put an attenuator on there and use the spectrum analyzer to see what the output and the power levels are.
You could do that. So let's go with let's just do an example. It doesn't really matter. So I'll 146.520 and then we will do a memory in split. Can I display, or let's do edit. Okay, so what if I let's for example, let's go back and we will go 446000 memory in. Why does it say split there? So that makes me think that it might do the thing I'm looking for, and I'm trying to hit it and it's not doing anything. Yeah? Okay. So if I go to memory, let's go to memory channel list. Yeah. I don't know.
There's something called odd split on page 8-2. It looks like a special procedure for these scenarios.
Let's see. Page 8-2. What does that mean? Hold on, like page 8? That's like learning the radio controls. Or are you talking
That's
about?
a thick manual.
Well, it has multiple languages in it, so it's a big book though. It's literally a book. Like they literally give you a book. So in that sense it's really nice, but odd split.
Well, what would crossband repeat do for you on a handheld radio?
So crossband repeat, you put, so imagine this is on a hilltop. So here's your hill, and you got dude on the left, dude on the right, and they're transmitting. It hits this radio, and that radio simultaneously transmits out that he hears. And then you stop transmitting, and he transmits on VHF, hits this guy, and this guy transmits out on UHF so this guy can hear. And so they go VHF, UHF, VHF, UHF, back and forth. That's what crossband repeats for. It's for like trying to get over a hill or something like that.
What I'm talking about is not crossband repeat.
I know.
Oh my god.
I know. I get it. I'm just saying he asked, it's crossband repeat. What is that? I'm answering the question. We're trying to
Josh,
answer
I
your
know
question.
you know. I'm just the guy that's asking.
I get it.
Well,
I'm trying to answer your question.
Well, I guarantee you that thing has split. People are doing satellites with it and stuff. It's definitely a split.
I'm trying to say is what scenario would that really work at? I mean, you explained it.
Yeah.
But when you're a hiker and you're hiking up a hill and you're at the top of like, well, let's just say Mount Ogden, since I'm in Utah, you're going to be able to hear both the guys and talk to both the guys because you're so high up in elevation. To me, crossband repeat would seem to be great if you were stuck in the valley and your truck was parked on top of Mount Ogden. Then a mobile radio would be a lot better for crossband repeat.
You just explained exactly why I generally like crossband repeat in mobiles and not handhelds, because I don't see the value necessarily for a handheld to have crossband repeat, but it's still cool. It's a cool feature. But yeah, you generally want like a mobile with 50 watts on a hilltop that is doing crossband repeat versus handhelds for sure.
Question.
Go ahead, question.
Are you sure it doesn't do crossband repeat?
I'm not. Hey, hello, Paul. How you doing, Paul? Paul, I'm gonna see you soon, right? I'm gonna see you soon.
I will see you in 2 weeks. Yeah,
that's right, man.
Do I have to
okay.
pick you up?
No, I'll probably get a rental like I normally do.
All right, just let me know.
I will.
Okay, scenario for this question of mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
It doesn't do crossband repeat.
No, he doesn't want crossband repeat.
That will now be the answer to every question.
Go ahead, man.
Scenario is you have a mobile radio that does crossband repeat.
Yes.
You can toss 33-foot telescoping mast in the air with
like you just don't
a roll-up J-pole and use it as a repeater on single band radios.
Yeah.
If you have dual band, you can transmit on one, listen to the other, yes. But on single band radios, if it can transmit on VHF and listen on UHF, you can use it as an ad hoc, field-capable, short-range repeater.
Sort of like crossband repeat.
That's literally okay. Now I'm confused on where we're going with this. So okay, listen. Okay, I'm getting okay. If okay, here's your radio, right? This is your radio. I don't know if you're watching me right now, but if I were to put this back into dual mode, okay, so you're transmitting not on APRS. Fine. You know what? Fine. There you go. Okay, you're transmitting on 146.665 and simultaneously listening on 446.000. There it is. That's what you want. That's what you're looking for, right?
That works.
Okay. So yeah, yes, it does that. I mean, it's doing that right now. Now, your question, and I think your question is apt, is can we save this as the transmit frequency and the 446, come on, focus, as the receive frequency? That I'm not sure of. I'm trying to make it so it's one option that for instance, if we took this A channel, we go back to dual mode or single mode. So you only see this A channel and the transmit is that. Save it to where the receive frequency, so I hit PTT and it transmits on 145.665. And then when you let go, it flips back to 446 whatever. That is like a novel approach to do it, but you can do it by just being dual channel, which is what this is, right? Dual channel radios just do this innately because they're dual channel. So when you said your ID52 doesn't do it or your ID50 doesn't, it does do it. You just have to have A channel listening to the frequency that you want to hear and the B channel transmitting on that frequency.
Right, but I'm looking at like an FT70 that is a single channel. It can transmit on VHF, listen on UHF.
But this does
Try
too.
that.
This does too. The difference is that the FT70 is not a dual channel radio, so it has to have this split capability.
Correct. It has the split capability within one channel. You can save a channel to that transmits on VHF, listens on UHF.
Yeah.
And use that with the capability I'm talking about. Without having an A side and B side, listen on one, transmit on the other.
Okay. So all right. The FT70 is a single channel radio. This is a dual channel radio. You get the same capability as the single channel radio when you make this single channel, because that's what you're doing. You're making receive channel, transmit channel. It's still the same capability. You're not losing anything, right?
Right. Now, I'm not talking about losing anything. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about using that single channel radio to be able to do that.
Right. So
you
this
would
does the same
typically
thing.
need the programming software to punch that in. Most radios support it, but you have to do it in the program software.
Yeah. So I will give you. I'll give the answer of yes.
Chirp is capable of programming radios that are capable of that to do the split. When you go to split, you actually, instead of putting the amount of split, you put in the secondary frequency, and it will allow you to do that.
Yeah. So this is going to do the same. Okay. All right. I'm literally going to go see if I can download the Kenwood software real fast, so we can hopefully demonstrate.
Jody's just posted it in the thing.
Jody just posted it. Okay.
In the live
It's
stream
just
chat.
a thing that we do around here.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Can you toss an antenna up and do a split frequency repeater? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I totally understand where you're coming from. So the mere capability that it's dual channel, it should be able to do that. And I would be shocked if the ICOM can't do it too. The question is can you do it? So I'm going to the laptop to make it happen. The real question is, can you do it on the radio? I'm guessing you can. I just don't know how to do it right off the bat. So I'm looking up. Let's first make sure it can happen. Why are you?
From what Jody just posted, it doesn't look like it's going to work.
No way. I mean, it does work because you just make it that channel. You know what I mean?
Okay, the first radio I ever bought was TH-D75 before I even had my license, because I thought, if I'm buying this $650 radio, I'm darn sure getting my freaking license. That's what kind of helped me, force me into it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I sold that radio, and it sucks.
Okay.
I just tagged you with Jody's image. It's a literal screenshot of the manual from page 8-2.
Okay. All right. We're going back here. Here we go. Thank you. No, you. Oh my God. You tagged me to Jody, not the post.
So close.
Come on, Frank.
I'm literally just. It was literally Jody's.
So
Discord.
close.
It's all right.
So it
It's
was
all right.
right below that.
Okay. So storing odd split repeaters. You
Odd.
cannot set the TX and RX frequencies on. All bits for that. All
So
bits
it's not
for that.
crossband repeat.
No, no, it's not.
It's exactly what it is.
This is not cross.
That's funny, though.
Okay. I lost my 7610. Come back, buddy. Okay, hear me out. Okay. So yes,
What are
you'd
you
have
doing
to
on
have
the radio?
you'd have to have two memory channels to make this work. You'd have to have two, and you'd have to have one on the A channel and one on the B channel. But I argue that if you're on the FT70, which is mono A channel only, you only have the A channel, right? So the fact that you have to have two memory slots for it, it's like, yeah, that's an inconvenience for your specific use case. I get that. But yes, it'll work. It will do the thing you want it to do. I guarantee you. The ID52 will do the thing you want it to do as well.
Well, no, the ASU, the channel I can do.
You're
VHF
stuck on the
receive.
single channel. You're going to need two channels. You're going to need two channels to make this
No,
work.
on
But it
the
will work.
FT70, I do not need two channels. It's
I
one
get
channel.
it. I get it. I'm saying you will need two channels. On the ICOM, on the Yaesu FT5DR, on the Kenwood, you'll need two channels.
What are you trying to say?
You'll need two channels.
Okay.
Not on any of those.
To do the thing you want to do, you can do with all these other radios. You can do. If the ultimate goal is I must have it all under one channel, then yes, you have a problem there. That will not work with the radios you mentioned, but the capability you're trying to achieve is possible with those radios. I want to be very clear. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. But
Okay.
with my Yancey radios, I can do it in a single channel. With
Yes!
my booth tolling radios, I can do it in a single channel. With ICOM and Kenwood, I cannot.
Okay, don't buy any of those radios ever again.
Don't buy them.
There you
That's
go.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, you're
That's
good.
right.
You're
I'm still
good.
trying to figure out
You
what
got
the
the
use case
you
is
got
here.
the FT70. It covers all your bases. That's good. You got a good solution to the problem, I think. All
Question.
right. Paul with a question. Go ahead.
Okay, you know how they had the D75 under glass at the what was it? Dayton?
Hamvention. Yep.
At Hamvention. Do you think they're still going to have it under glass at Hamcation?
You know what? They might. No, they won't. They won't. Once it's released to the public, they'll just have them out there for people to, get their greasy paws all over.
Yeah, because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a beeline right to the D75, and I'm going to ask the guy from Kenwood if it does crossband repeat.
So there's if you think of like John Crook and Ray Novak, there is a Kenwood guy like that.
There
is. And he's a little salty at some of the YouTubers.
Salty is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
He hates everyone that's on YouTube.
Yeah. Wait. What did you hear?
I definitely got I got the vibe from him. That
yeah, he was like he did not want us there.
He does not want any publicity. It's behind glass. No, you can't touch it. It's like, well, I just want to do B video to have it on my channel.
Yeah, he was like, how dare we? How dare we?
No.
I didn't.
I can't wait to see it.
I don't care that the radio was behind glass. I didn't want to necessarily touch it. I didn't need to do that. But he was a little like he felt like he was a guy from a world where YouTube didn't exist.
Exactly. It's like YouTube doesn't add anything to the commercial market, or we're increasing the demand for a $750 handheld radio that does not do crossband repeat.
Right, like how dare we talk about give free publicity to their product?
Right. I'm going to go over to Yaesu and buy it when they put the 710 on sale during Hamcation for $7.99. I'm going to spend the extra $40.
He actually struck me odd enough that I was like, I asked him like, have you heard of this guy? Do you know this guy? And he's like, yeah, he's a bit, he's got his opinions. He's got his opinions, and I'm like, okay, all right, he's got his opinions, but it's kind of odd in a world where, like, I don't know that everybody gets this yet, but there's a thing called YouTube, and that's where everybody's eyeballs are at. All the time. And so
it's like, do you know how many YouTubes we can add? No, we don't. We're Kenwood. We have one radio. We don't care.
And
we have one radio. One radio.
You don't
have two.
You don't have to be nice.
Okay.
You don't have to be. You don't have to like give. I'm not asking you.
I'm not asking for a free radio. All I'm asking to do is take it from behind the glass wall. Oh no, we can't.
No.
That's why Don was there.
I'll have none of that.
Phil's not a camera guy.
Don was great. Okay, so if I think I know who Don is, Don was fantastic. But regardless, it's the whole stance, right? It's like that whole forward-facing Bart. Like whomever we're talking about, I can't remember his name. Was it Phil? Is it Phil? It's Phil, right?
Yeah, Phil.
At some point, I think he had to just leave because he was getting so
bombarded,
like just angry by all of it that he was like, you know what, I can't deal with this, and he just buggered out. I don't know what happened, but like you almost want to talk to those people privately, like just if you could, like, explain your worldview. There are a number of people who actively are watching my live stream that we just did that are interested in your product. They're interested.
700 people.
They're interested in the product, and they're curious if it fits into their lifestyle. And the biggest question that they have is, how do we fit this $750 radio into the budget, right? And the fact that you're just not like, give all the information to anybody who asks. I'm not saying that they need to be knocking on my door. I'm not asking for that. And why should it be me? It could be any YouTuber, like nothing like that. But to just be like upsetty about it is just, I just don't get it. I do not get it. It will never fit in my mind to there are many in our wonderful hobby and industry that get angry about YouTubers. And here's my hot take on all this. Like, even if, like, I screwed up on the live stream, there's parts where I was like, you know, there's stuff I just don't know because I'm not that passionate about it, right? Even a video where if all I did was put out bad information about the radio, it's putting out more information than existed before on it. And for free. So it's like, I don't know. But, well, okay.
It's like if
Go
you
ahead,
have 50,000 views on tonight's broadcast and 700 plus people live for over an hour, you might sell a radio or two. There may be somebody in the audience that goes, you know what? 750 seems reasonable for the quality of that radio.
Sure.
You know, and they don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you said the Crook, you know what? I think Yesu's menus suck and there's too many of them and they're too complicated. He's not going to say, you know what, you're wrong. He's going to say, okay, that's a valid point. And I will take that up and I appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh,
and people have said it right to his face and he doesn't get crazy from it.
Crook and I think Crook and Ray do a great job of just taking feedback. And honestly, they toe the line of like, hey, I'm a representative of the company that I'm here for, but I also understand where you're coming from. No
Right,
time
like
have I ever said.
John will tell you about the angry emails.
Sure,
Like,
and
where
he's
people
funny.
lose their minds.
John,
he just takes it in stride.
John's funny about it. Have you seen his mug that he reads? Like how to piss off a ham. Tell him to read the manual. Because like that's like, I bet you, like, how, you know, every time we do the live stream and I say, what's the most important question? What's your budget? For him, it's got to be the most important answer is, did you read the manual? Right? Like, that's why it's funny. It's just a tongue-in-cheek thing, right? But
and never speculate with him.
Well,
never speculate. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was funny with John when I went up to him at what is it, Hamcation, the one in Huntsville, whatever.
Huntsville.
Yeah. Anyway, I went up to him and I said, "Hey, John, I just wanted to say I really like your YouTube channel and how you interact with." He goes, "Oh, don't say that too loud. My boss is here." And
that's
apparently
funny.
that lady Deborah is the actual like Yesu person, but we don't see her. We only see John. So I didn't know who she was. He goes, "Yeah, that's my boss. You don't want to talk too loud." I think he was joking with me, but still, you know. In fact, I know he was, but at least about the not saying something. But apparently that Lady Deborah is his boss, and I think.
I don't know. Now we're definitely speculating. Now we're
the reason I say that is we were at Belton, which is, you know, in Texas anyway, and Vern and Jason and a whole bunch of them of us were out at dinner, and then this tall, skinny guy, young guy, came up, and they said, "Oh, hey, this is the Kenwood guy, you know, like John Crook. This is the Kenwood guy."
Oh, it's Phil.
And no, well, was it? Because it was a tall, skinny guy with dark hair, younger guy.
What's younger to you, Don? What does that mean?
The guy that I saw that y'all were talking to at Hamvention, was a gray-haired old man.
No, the Phil's not gray-haired.
Oh, okay.
Phil has no hair. Don, W6 GPS. That's the older gray-haired guy.
Hey, where's this line going? Like, I can't find the end of this pink line. Where is this going? I can't get to the bottom of the earth.
It's fell off the flat earth.
Yeah.
Past this point be dragons. It's gone. Look. Okay, I don't know, Phil. If you ever watch this video, I love your company. I have since before I had a YouTube channel that was specifically about ham radio. I bought a D72. I've owned many Kenwood radios. I love them. I think straight up, if you were to ask most hams that make YouTube videos, hey, are you trying to make a hit piece against my company, or did you just make a mistake here? Like, take my last live stream. I'm sure I made some mistakes. They'd answer, I'm trying to do the best I can. And sometimes I don't have all the information because it's a hugely complex radio, let alone a hugely complex hobby. So I'm doing the best I can, and I would like to do better. And if you'd like to help me out or be on a show or make a video or provide the information, I'll correct where I was wrong. I've corrected where I was wrong multiple times. I love working with the brands. I love it. The more information I get from the brands only makes the information better. Now, there are some times where I'm not mentioning any of the Japanese brands, but there are some brands who make claims that don't pan out. So it goes both ways, right? But by and large, there's no YouTuber that exists in ham radio that wants to make a hit piece against a company. I know I just said a huge generalization. There are some who have, for sure. I know this. But most of them don't. Any of the ones that want to make good stuff and stick around and be a part of the community are not, right? And I guess that's the point, is that we're all trying to make good stuff. We just want to help out the ham community as best we can. But, you know, we got to do what we got to do. We do what we can. So,
do you know Michael Walker by any chance?
Michael Walker. Why is that name so familiar?
Flex Radio. He's been on. I've been on his show, or been on shows with him, with Kyle, and
he's the tech guy
other...
for Flex, right?
No, he's not. He's more of the John Kruk of Flex Radio. So he goes.
Lori was the person that I was pointed towards.
Lori.
What? For Flex.
No, I mean, if you wanted somebody to come on your channel, it would be Michael.
I do.
Walker.
I would love it. Okay.
It would be Michael Walker. Believe me, if you talk to Kyle, and he can put you in touch with Michael.
Kyle.
Although,
I do know Kyle. I can do that.
Yeah. That's why I was mentioning.
I would love that. Yeah, I would relish the opportunity.
Michael is really good on camera. In fact, he was on with Callum a couple of weeks back. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. If you ever.
The pop-out chat is completely borked again. I know everybody's hearing me complain about the chat room, and it's because it's something I do for the live stream. It's not something your guys are doing.
Now, do you block ads on YouTube?
No.
Or do you have an ad blocker at all?
Nope. Matt Hamilton, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the videos that got me on the air. Well, thank you, buddy, for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Am I getting picked up? I'm getting picked up all over here, but I'm not getting any replies to my CQs or comments. So I don't. Oh, there it is. There it is. Never mind. Never mind.
I will say this: you do have a hum when you're transmitting. It's feeding back onto Discord.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm 40.
Intermittent.
Are you running FT8 now, or?
Yeah, we're fine now. Thank you.
Okay.
I have yet to figure out my RFI problems on 40 meters, and it's very frustrating. It's all outside the house. I have to do a big major thing to solve it. So let's
still setting off the fire alarm.
Yeah, well, that's a different problem. The RFI on the receive side is my main issue. I don't care about the fire alarms. We'll
transmit.
Sounds like you're at the barber shop every so often.
Right? All right, let's...
the hum's still there.
Hum's still there?
Mm-hmm.
How loud?
Yep.
How loud is it?
Not very, but it's just enough that it's noticeable both on YouTube and in Discord.
Dude, 40 is so weird. I have to go in and I'm gonna have to go in and put filter Toroids on everything. I'm not doing any literally nothing is different. What am I doing differently? Wait. Did that get rid of it?
Yes.
Did it really?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, it got rid of it. Great. Okay. Who in the chat has a newcomer? Well, any question. We'll take any questions at this point from anywhere. Discord, YouTube. Who's the next to ask a question? Go for it.
Well, since we set you up with the big one earlier on the not crossband repeat.
Yes, sir.
I mentioned in the live stream about doing packet AX25.
Yes.
So the D72 you can plug into your computer, go to PuTTY or another terminal, access the TNC, and you can bounce off other packet nodes. You can keyboard to keyboard. You can't do that with the D74. I'm sitting here
Oh,
looking at it right now, about to beat it up because it won't do it.
I understand your question now. So you're saying there was a packet menu on the D72 in PuTTY?
Negative.
Okay.
And you can you hook it to your computer, get your COM port, and
Okay.
in PuTTY,
In PuTTY.
I've got it up, or I did. What happened to it? You
Mm-hmm.
go and select your COM over serial.
Let's do it live.
Uh-oh.
No, we'll do it live. No, let's pull it up. Seriously, this is great. This is something we can do. That's the wrong one. Hold on.
Does VAR
So what
count?
you're talking about there is KISS mode versus command mode, and the D74 and 75 only support KISS. They don't have command or converse mode.
Okay.
That's what I meant by full access to the TNC.
Oh, okay.
Command mode. That's it.
So how is that different? So I remember the D72, you would put it into KISS mode to do packet. So, this is Sky Command. Are you talking Sky Command stuff? This is like
no, that's different. The KISS mode is a form of TNC language. Command mode is the base mode, and you have KISS mode riding on top of that.
Yeah.
And D74s and D75s are always in 100% KISS mode. They cannot fall back to the root language.
Okay, so when this is in APRS and then I change it over to packet, right? So you're saying, I forget.
Yeah, if you hit your APRS, it goes into APRS 12, and then you go into KISS 12. That goes to the TNC. You'll have access to your TNC there.
So you're saying opening when it goes to packet 12?
Yes.
So packet 12 doesn't necessarily mean just KISS. It also defaults to command mode for like a simplex packet kind of thing if you want to go over PuTTY.
Correct.
Oh, I understand what you're saying now. I get what you're saying. So you're saying if I plug the D72 into the laptop and I bring up PuTTY on that port, I can just type straight into PuTTY and it would pass it.
You get your command line. You can put in TNC commands such as my call, your delay, all that you would have access to in like the KPC3s and the KPC 1200.
Like the Cantronics and stuff?
Right.
Correct.
Didn't the Cantronics provide like a menu though? That's how I always used them, is that I'd pull up like it popped, like I hit a button twice and it would give me the whole menu that I would use for packet.
It's been many years.
And I think that was like a BBS function that you could bring up in there, but there was another mode like what he's talking about that was almost like, boy, and my only way of describing it is going back to my Apple II days, but it'd be like going into the monitor on the Apple II and typing commands in there.
Yeah, so
right.
When you're on KISS, that is a pass-through of whatever you put into. So the expectation is that the computing body, the laptop or whatever, is passing the appropriate information in. That just gets kind of like, yep, it's good, and kind of thrown over the fence for KISS. It's not the same thing as the way the Cantronics would work.
Command line, like he was saying, the VE station, I think.
But you have a TNC or a 72, right?
I do.
No, I mean Josh does.
Hey, it's on the screen. Yeah, he's got them set by beside.
Well, you should connect that up and run PuTTY to it.
And you can test it. Yeah. Okay. Why not?
And look at the difference.
Okay. All right. We can do that. We'll start with the D72 to understand what the baseline is, because I think this is actually very fascinating.
Don, I thought you were going back out to do Winter Field Day.
I was, and then my sister called and took
oh my God, it's a USB. It's a USB Mini. I forgot.
But
I forgot about
those.
I forgot. All right, I'm gonna go into the old box here.
$750 radio, and it's got a USB Mini on it.
No.
That's the D72, the $500 radio.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I found one. I found it. All right, there it is.
Hey, my call's KD4CHW, by the way.
Oh, very good. Thank you for coming out here.
That's a gamer tag on there. So.
Okay. So let's see. You're saying if we did I putty on this thing? I gotta have putty, right? You get out of here. This is the original Jankopotamus, which doesn't have all the advanced software of the other version. Oh, this thing was complaining.
Is it completely debloated though?
It is, but now it's not. It's not syncing time. What's up with that?
Have you seen the BKT?
Oh, I know how to
sync?
fix this. What's
or
that?
BK time sync. You should go and look sometime on Mania Radio at all of the stuff that guy in Italy does. He does some. He has a complete USB or whatever control for the 7000, the 7100, all kinds of software like that. But he's got this program called BK Time Sync.
Oh yeah, I use that with the the 705. Well, sorry, the little dongle, the little USB dongle. I use that.
Yeah, I use it now on all of my computers because it's so easy to use. Once you have internet, you just go sync and it syncs, and it'll also sync with a GPS. So if you have a GPS plugged in, it will use the GPS to sync time and date.
I'm old school. I watched one of Josh's older videos about the GPS stuff. I have one of those little GPS U-Block 7 dongles, and I have a mag mount version as well for it.
I love those little dongles.
I only use the pucks because I want to get it out from under the trees and stuff when I'm sitting under a tree.
How screwed up is my laptop that I can't even set the time correctly? Oh, Jankopotamus, why are you doing this to me? Oh, but
it's not necessary.
Right? So okay, we've got we do have okay. We're gonna try this, but I got to restart it. This is fascinating though. I want to get to the bottom of this. I did not realize now that I'm getting see this is why the Discord's very important. Sometimes questions are the nuance of question cannot be conveyed in a YouTube comment, and it must go to the Discord chat. And as always, Jody has thoughts, likely the right thoughts. In fact, statistically, I don't know that Jody has been wrong. Jody says, as the built-in TNC directly enters KISS mode and not via command mode, commands such as KISS on restart to enter KISS mode from command mode are not necessary in the APRS function. Oh, okay, well, that's not necessarily what we're talking about. That's close. As the built-in TNC directly enters KISS mode and not command and not via command. Oh, so there are no okay. So that implies that the 72 had a command structure over the top of the TNC. So before it even got to the KISS the KISS mode, there was some kind of command structure that it could take commands. Right. So that's not the case because it goes direct to KISS, implying you have to pass all that into the radio via whatever you're using. So a straight serial connection like putty, you'd have to raw form that out if you were doing it that way, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yes and no. You can't get there from here, right?
Right. Yeah, you're not gonna. It sounds like you'd have to add some kind of software into the mix that isn't putty, because putty's like direct serial connection. There's no thing in between KISS. Like KISS is the Starship Enterprise Universal Translator. You throw in language and it spits out the right language on the back end, but that language has to be properly formed before it even goes into it. What it sounds like the D72 was doing is like it had a front end that was helping you get into the right format and sending some kind of command that gets passed to the TNC, the KISS TNC. Different.
That's exactly what's going on. If you look at the cost of a KPC, you're paying the extra $100 for a lot of that command level functionality. KISS is cheaper to implement. They stripped it out. I don't really know if the D72 had a full command implementation.
I don't think it did because you couldn't really pull up a menu structure. Well, not menu, but there wasn't like a help. Like you couldn't do the double tap and then pull up the intro menu like you can on the Cantronics and anything like that. That's a packet modem.
Mhm.
Unless
But
I'm
isn't
wrong, somebody scream at me.
I think that's extra firmware. The menu is just the menu is issuing commands to the command line. So if you have a blank command line, you don't have to have a menu if you know all those commands in your head.
Yeah,
Is what
I
I'm
think
getting at. It's just
that's right.
it's extra firmware to make the oh well people are going to want to do this as this menu item, so we're going to write a piece of code to do that.
So
But I don't think it's required to have a TNC.
in a world where we have such robust software that will allow you to properly form an AX25 packet, you don't need the command mode, but I understand why you could use it. Like you could just pull up PuTTY and do some nominal features with it.
Mhm.
I think you're probably better off getting a proper packet something to interface with the TNC though. You're going to have better results in the long run. But Jody, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Did when you connected that radio, did a audio interface also pop up the same time you had a COM port interface?
Oh, I don't know.
Let me look.
I don't know that we looked. I don't know that we checked that.
And that is definitely the back door to running, some app to simulate all this.
Interesting.
We only saw the COM port earlier. We didn't go into audio.
I didn't have audio up.
Well, now just to be clear, that's what the AIOC does.
Okay, so
The manual does cover, through Bluetooth and through USB. It supports the 3 device classes for USB for audio and mass storage and for serial. So I'm really hoping it shows up as audio.
Where did we? Oh, there's my cable. Hold on. Quite a few videos that I've been working on here, so let me make sure that's in prominence. There you go.
I love that this is a D75 video, and we're spending more time on the D72.
Well,
no, that was a very specific question because he had capabilities he wanted to return that he had with the D72.
yeah, it's kind of a thing when you're saying, well, hey, I might want to go. Do I want a D75 or do I want to spend the extra time going through Hamfests looking for a D72? Because what's the difference, and why might I want a 72 over a 74? We know the 72 has capabilities that both the 74 and the 75 don't.
Right.
But we're learning that there are other things that might be there too.
Yeah, and always remember, like, if an older radio does everything you want it to do, then that's probably the right answer, right? So I don't know. That's the feeling I always have is, oh wait, do I have a, there it is. Okay, hold on. I need to point.
I'll leave my 2 cents on this one. Newer is not always better, even if it's nice.
Yeah. Okay, so let's bring the device manager up here. Yeah, if you have a solution that's like most the way of all your problems, and the only thing the new radio does that is a significant amount of money is add USB-C to your solution, and it's like, okay, well, that is helpful. It certainly makes my life easier, but maybe it's not the thing you need. So which audio device are we like looking at to open up here? So
right now I don't see any audio. It's just a. There you go.
Yeah, sound controller maybe could be audio input.
It'd be audio.
I'm going to turn on the radio. Here we go. Radio's
the
on.
D74
Screen's gonna
comes
flash.
up as a ADC1.
Oh, there it is. Microphone. So we got a audio input and speaker. Do we have a speaker that matches that?
Don't see it.
Yeah, maybe down in the list in the sound section.
Yeah. Well, that's audio inputs and
ADC
outputs.
1.
But
There it is. ADC 1.0. So yeah, you have some amount of nominal
yeah.
audio in out. So yeah, you okay. So by the way, I expect that this. Wait, where am I? Hello, there I am. I expect that this should work perfectly with VAR FM. In fact, that's what I wanted to do on the after chat is get VAR AC, VAR FM working, so we can do WinLink Packet with it and get my emails.
Well, there is an experiment if you're up for it to
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. Maybe.
Go on to 40 meters and receive with this radio on band B and decode it FT8. Just for a cool experiment.
Oh no, no. I want to get my email. I want to get my email. But yeah, we might be able to do that too. We'll see. I don't know. We're running out of time here. By the way, if you don't follow the Ham Radio Crash Course podcast, something we've been doing on the podcast is movie night, where we talk about preparedness type movies. So we did 10 Cloverfield Lane last 2 weeks ago, which is a fantastic preparedness movie. But then it's a poll system that people are voting for movies that we watch, and we watched The Birds, which The Birds is a fantastic movie, but not the best for preparedness. They're woefully unprepared for bird attack. All right, so I think my Vara is super old on this laptop, but let's see if we can just do a Vara thing. Unable to open COM. Oh yeah, because that's probably not connected. That's not the right COM port. Back to Device Manager, the solution of all Windows problems. So we are now. Oh my God. Oh, we're 11. That's right. We'll just go ahead and minimize that. So all right, if you're new to WinLink, so what am I doing? I want to get my emails via radio. So I'm going to use my little handheld here as my RF device.
Is this the D72 or the 75?
75. We're doing the 75 here. So where
you hurt the D72's feelings. He went away.
That's it. He's gone. So okay, we're going to Vara setup. Thank you for hiding my registration key from the internet. Thank you very much. We'll go to sound card. Okay, it picked ADC1. I like that. I didn't even tell it to do that. Oh, that's not good though. Oh, interesting. So it's not. Okay, I expected the. I did VAR FM with the.
Is it possible Vara just got upgraded to support the D75?
Not likely, but at the same time, we'll get the update.
And besides, if it's ADC1, wouldn't that have been on the 72 and the 74?
Well, but remember, we saw that at like a lower. It was a lower device space. If you, it was not the same matching COM port or same audio port as the audio input, the microphone.
Right, but has it always been that way, or did the other radios show up differently?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because it's possible that he doesn't support Kenwood at all.
But it worked with VAR FM worked with the D74. So if it doesn't now, I expect it will work in the future.
Right.
Oh, I should probably close all this stuff out before we. There we go. Maybe. Yeah, okay. We're going to try and get my email live over Packet. Ha ha ha. Never a screen you see when running ham radio software. Run anyway.
Somebody doesn't want to pay the Microsoft tax, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't blame them either. That's why you buy a Jankopotamus, so it's a $50 laptop, and you can do whatever the hell you want with it. You can put all the garbage you want on it. But please do debloat it first, please. All right, so we don't need to launch. You know what? We'll launch it, and we'll check the audio first here. So
It's amazing how much faster Jankopotamus runs after deploat.
Oh, I know. You guys are all watching me.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so much faster. All right, so that's the right device input, and we still don't have the right device output.
Mine doesn't show up either on the D74.
So how did I do it then?
You were using the 72?
No, because I did a video with Edison. Oh, I know what I did. Oh, no. Okay. All right. I know what I did. The solution is not the cable. It's ditching the cable and going to Bluetooth. It was a Bluetooth sound device. That was the solution. All right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so, okay, we're going to get out of that.
But you weren't able to get Bluetooth working a little bit ago,
No,
right?
low energy I couldn't do.
I thought you tried the Jankopotamus too, but go ahead.
No, we didn't try that. We tried we tried the keyboard and the phone.
Well, he had the Jankopotamus out too. I thought he tried that, but yeah, go ahead. It's got to work with something.
The keyboard is not going to work. The D75 doesn't have a profile for keyboards.
Yeah, most of the APRS things don't. And that's why I hate APRS messaging.
Is it a sound device? I take that back. I think I did that wrong. Let's do that.
I think when you add a device, Bluetooth is smart enough to recognize all of them.
There it is. There. I don't even know what half these devices are. Okay.
I still say you should just play APRS across your neighbor's speaker.
I think that's the real solution to all of our problems.
I would vote for FT8.
Okay, so I clicked OK on the radio to pair, and it's saying adding and flashing many, many times. But I would have expected this to be done. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, it said error again. Pairing fail.
Something I'm noticing. You have the Bluetooth pin on your laptop, but and this was something earlier too. You didn't get a pin on the radio.
It did. You're not seeing it because I'm not showing the camera feed, but so I'll do it again. That was what I did. Was I made it go into Bluetooth mode. What if I did it? No, don't want to do that.
See, I have this problem with my car too. It doesn't. Half the devices don't work with a car.
So that's it. It's there. And the key is the same. So I'm going to click on the laptop now. I'm not going to say, and then I'll also say okay. Oh, okay. Okay. There's a battery of arms. I did the battery of arms wrong. So we got it. All right. So here, okay, let me explain what I did. So I was here. I saw the D75 and I said pair, and it showed the code on both sides. And first I said, okay, yes, it matches here. Clicked okay. And then on the radio I said, yes, they match. and they both got it. So pairing's complete. Okay, now that pairing's complete, G-bus. Here we go. So hypothetically, if we go back to the device manager, we might see a Bluetooth thing. Yeah, so we're, yeah, okay, so there's the D75 now. Shows up on the Bluetooth along with the Mobi Link and the D74, which you expected. I expected that. Okay, so let's get rid of our friend here for a second. WinLink Express. Come on. Nope, definitely don't want Windows security. There it is. Okay, so now open a session. Yep, because it's the wrong port, so we expect that. So we're going to get... No, that's not... Ah, don't click that! No, stop. Sorry, that was my bad. Yes, we know the COM port's wrong. Okay. Fine. No, that's the wrong place. We got to go back to VAR AC, or VAR FM, sorry. Sound card. So now... That's not right either. Okay. Let's go back to the radio. I have a feeling we have a way around this. So if we go to Bluetooth. Interface. We need to change output to... No, not Bluetooth for GPS. KISS. Bluetooth. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's go back. We're in KISS 12. So Bluetooth. Let's close this. I'm going to restart all of this. I swear this works with the 74, so if it doesn't work with the 72, that's wild. Or the 75. Stop it. It's still not there. I must be doing something wrong. I bet you I'm doing something wrong.
I will say this. This does make me appreciate how much simpler the Kenwood D710 Alpha is for the VARA stuff on VARA FM.
The right answer is Bluetooth. We want that. What if the old-fashioned reset the radio? Okay, let's go back to Device Manager. I'm going to restart the radio. Okay, radio starting. I mean, it's already showing the D75. Paired. Why does it say... Oh, you know what? What if we... It's not on. D74 is not on. How's it paired? They're all paired. Okay, fine. Okay. God, I don't know if this is it, but let's try this last hurrah here. Otherwise, look for an upcoming video. Connect, Maestro. It's See, this is blanked out. Okay. Let's go back to the laptop.
So I don't know if it's gonna make a difference or not, but certain Bluetooth chips, they do have certain issues where they will time out sometimes and need to be restarted in order to reconnect. So you may have to restart the device. I'm not sure like what kind of chips they use in ham radios, but that could be something as well.
I did just restart it though.
Mm-hmm. He power cycled the whole radio, so.
Have we powered cycle VAR FM again? Or
No, I've been thinking about that too. Should you close VARA and restart it?
Every time I close out of the session, it closes VARA.
Right.
The session in WinLink Express. Once you close WinLink Express session down, so COM
11.
COM 11. That's fine.
Well, it was COM 11 on USB cable. It might be different on Bluetooth.
Oh, interesting. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. And that's what I keep thinking. Shouldn't Bluetooth create audio devices under the audio chain in Device Manager?
KE0LFX just said in the YouTube chat, the sound card in Device Manager has no bearing on VARA FM.
Yeah, but you have to select the device in VAR FM to use.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, so which one
So
of those?
There's a device that usually gets created called Serial over Bluetooth for these. It's not gonna be a port necessarily. I think I'm doing something wrong. I think I have something wrong on this radio. So, out of curiosity, and go back to what I know here. Yeah, see, I have everything on Bluetooth. Okay, which we did.
I wonder if there's a setting in the radio that we missed somewhere.
Probably, undoubtedly. Yeah. It's not going to be here. Secret access code.
Does the radio or the computer show that you're actually connected, not just paired?
Well, let's do this. Let's put the 74 on it. See what happens. So I'm going to turn this guy off for a second. And we're going to say, okay. But this turned into something much longer than I expected. This was an easy thing I set up. So I'm like I said, I'm guessing I have something wrong. I don't think it's the
Yeah, this doesn't seem like functionality they would break. It's got to be just a little thing they're not catching yet.
yeah. It's possible that I restarted this. I'm going to restart. I made an entire video of walking around a park with my son Edison with this laptop and this radio, and they worked. So. Yeah. Okay. All right, give me a couple minutes. All right. The kids want me to leave. They want me to go they want me to go watch a movie. We got movie night tonight, guys. So I gotta do a couple more things here. We're gonna try, and then I'm calling it quits until I can figure it out. And when I do figure it out, you better believe I'll make a video.
While we're anxiously waiting with bated breath, I have a quick question. How many people in here have actually gotten like over 24 QRZ rejections of people claiming the information isn't correct because the other party doesn't know how to properly insert the information?
Are you talking about that list of incompleted connections?
On QRZ, yeah.
Yeah, I've
So
got
I submit
115 of those. Yeah.
I submit a log
Mhm.
and I put in a request, for confirmation. They come back with not in log or incorrect info.
Mhm.
And then when I send them an email, they go, "Oh yeah, I remember that," and they log it. Anyone else, or is it just I'm 24 plus contacts into having issues?
24. I have 115.
Yeah,
Well,
I got
that's
quite
just
a
off
few
the
too.
top of my head.
I got quite a few of those. I have no idea how to fix them or do
Mhm.
anything to make them valid. I guess there's nothing I can do on my end.
Yeah, and some of them are basically when we were doing FT8 and I didn't get uh an equivalent of an RR73 from them, and then they quit, and I never know, okay, should I just force log it or not? And some of those when I don't force log it, that's what these guys are. These guys are guys that never sent me a 73, so they think the call's complete, and I never got a complete, and I just went on to the next call.
Mhm.
Most of these are sideband, like I'm looking at one right now in my log. They're saying incorrect data, and it's because it seems like on their side of things. So QRZ, when you go in to confirm something, it doesn't give you. So Don, say I work you, and I send you a request for confirmation. It's not going to tell you on your side, oh hey, this is what Frank put in for information. Please just hit confirm. It wants you to actually input the data, and it seems like a lot of hams don't
No,
keep
I
that data. They don't log it, so they don't have it, and so they just throw out incorrect data on me.
I have never ever had somebody send me something and say, please confirm. Um, that happens automatically. I don't touch a thing.
Mhm.
On sideband, not
On
FT8.
every contact in QRZ.
I must be doing something wrong then. I'll talk to you off when we're done after the after chat.
Yeah, because I don't know what you're doing because I've never done anything like that. It's automatic.
So when you go into your log, you go actions, request confirmation of contact, hit OK.
I
You don't do any of that.
never done that. And I've got hundreds of confirmations.
Okay, I'm gonna have to dig into this.
Because what's happening in the back end is QRZ is comparing your log to his log. Are you both saying you both logged the contact? Well, let me look at it, and then they look at certain fields, and if those fields match, it's confirmed.
Well,
in the story.
if they don't log and they don't upload the QRZ,
Right.
then
Then
that's where this comes into
yeah,
play.
and then you get that big thing on the side that shows contacts that uh, are pending for you to do, and it's not like I don't have the information to do that. That's the reason they're there. And like I said, a lot of those are FT8 contacts, but some of them are SSB. And the ones on SSB, I don't know. Did I ever talk to those guys? Because I don't have them in my log.
Okay, fair enough. So, and most times, I've sent out an email or a message on the QRZ forums and, in the private messages. And once they see the information, they go, "Oh yeah, I remember that. I'll log it, no problem." So I'm like, "What?"
Mm.
I'm like, "What am I doing wrong?"
Well, what you're supposedly not supposed to do is go, "Oh, this guy's showing his pending to me. Let me send him or I need him to confirm. So let me send him an email with all the information I have on my side." Well, yeah, all you're doing there is giving him the information to fill in his log. But really, in reality, what's supposed to happen is just like with a card, you're supposed to send him a card. He's supposed to return you a card. And if he doesn't have any information of the contact, he's not supposed to send you the card, which is kind of so.
Right.
So the card is like you entering the data, or you entering your data, him entering his data, and then QRZ compares the two.
Comment for the 75.
Yeah.
Have you checked the Bluetooth settings and seen if there's the COM port is set in there?
No, it's not that. So we're back to the audio. I think I sorted out the I sorted out the PTT or the COM port over USB. So it makes a serial connection. let me show you. So this is the radio, the standard serial over Bluetooth link. One of those ports is the correct port. The question is which one. The problem we're having is what we're back to is that we got to get the audio piped from VAR AC into or VAR FM into the radio, and that's the part that I'm not sure why it's not working.
Correct. So if you click on Bluetooth and look at the D75, you should be able to see the COM port setting in there to pick the COM port.
Say again. Say that again.
Go to your Bluetooth properties on the computer.
Okay.
And then should find settings, and it would give you the permissions to set a COM port there.
Settings for what?
Bear with
Could
me.
be in your
Yeah.
sorry. Could be in your Bluetooth settings.
Well, let him
in
finish.
the hardware section.
Let's not overcomplicate it. Let's just stick to what let's go with the direction he's going.
Yeah, go to the Bluetooth section, and then look inside of the D75. Right click on that. It should go to properties and then settings in there.
Nope.
I do remember when you went into this menu earlier, there was a port setting in those sub menus somewhere, and I think it was when the radio was connected to the computer.
We're not doing physical connection. I know that doesn't work. We got to do the Bluetooth. So regardless of there being a Bluetooth connection or not, you should have an audio. And I know someone said that there's no audio selection, but there has to be an audio selection because VAR FM requires it. Like there has to be a device that you click in the drop down that points it to the radio. Otherwise, this won't work.
That's why I was asking before when you click on the device manager, you look under audio, because that's where these two are coming from. Shouldn't there be something from Bluetooth creating an audio device under that audio section in Windows? or is it going to only show up under the Bluetooth menu?
Question.
Well, somebody was going to say something while Don was talking. Who was that?
Me, maybe Dom.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Did you pair your Bluetooth device as a audio device or just as an other device?
As an audio device.
Okay, sorry, I just got here.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So.
And then shouldn't it create an audio device under the audio chain in Windows, though, right?
You would think so, but okay. Let's go back to Bluetooth devices. I got about 5 more minutes in me before I go.
I think you had those audio devices when you were using USB-C.
Yeah.
No, I did not. No, there was no.
You did have the ADC-1.
No, ADC-1, but not the transmit. We could not get the transmit. Oh, okay. So it's marked as an other device. So let's get rid of that because that might be part of the problem. So we'll go to.
I can't get my D74 to even connect to either of my computers now, and it has been before.
It's a pain in the butt.
All right. Let's see. We're going
I guess back up. Have you gotten this to work on your D74?
Yes, I did. I made a video about it.
Huh.
So there's the D75 again. Okay, I'm gonna cancel out of this to make sure I did this right. But when you go to add Bluetooth device and you go to Bluetooth, mice, keyboards, pens, audio, other such Bluetooth devices, maybe that's the problem. Wireless dock, everything else. What if it's everything else? I'm just curious if it's going to show up or not. I don't think it's going to. Okay, that's fine. So let's go back. I'm going to go Bluetooth. It's going to show the D75. There it is. It's going to say connecting. Or not. There it is. Passkeys match. So we're going to say connect. Connect. Okay. On the radio. Your device is ready. Okay, good. I'm glad. So it still shows up as a... it's got a phone on it. It's got a phone handheld on it, right?
Yeah, because it's not strictly a audio device.
Right.
It's also a serial device. And a microphone.
Maybe just relinking it did the trick.
Don't forget to close and reopen Vara FM.
Yeah, but I don't think that's I don't think that's going to do it.
Because I've definitely had mine paired to my D74 paired to my laptop, and then done the USB or not USB, like Bluetooth, IF, audio, whatever thing.
Right, exactly.
Do you have a feature on that's overriding that?
Maybe. Yeah, see, it's there's still no audio.
Like on the radio?
Click on the radio. What do you mean? Yeah, it's not. Okay, there's definitely a way to do this. I know because I've done it. But the fact it's not working is crazy to me. If I do... Okay, so let's turn this guy off. And we're going to go to Bluetooth, connect. This is a conundrum. I don't think it's the radio's fault though.
Just for giggles, Josh, just set the sound output and the PTT port for the comm and see if it will connect that way. Maybe it's set the PTT for whatever the COM port is for the device, and then set just the top audio device. I think that's the speaker, or whichever the top one is in Vara. Set that and see just for giggles if it will transmit.
I don't understand what you're saying. So you're the sound. So the sound option. These are physical things, right? That's the microphone on the laptop.
Yeah,
and that's the output of that's the VB virtual cable. Those are completely unrelated. Their own devices. They have nothing to do with this. So there has to be an audio thing that shows up here. It will not work without there being an audio thing for Bluetooth. Period. Like you can see the audio meter like literally jumping when I'm talking right now because it's set to the right.
Yeah.
So it's not that unless I can go like make it do radio things.
I was thinking about this with the when you had the USB attached. Never mind.
Yeah, but even with the USB attached, we only had the audio in. We didn't have it out. So there's a. I'm gonna go sit on the couch and watch a movie, I think, and we will figure this out. But it won't be right now. The Bluetooth audio service might not be enabled, but yeah. So there's a battery of arms to this. I'm sure that possibly having the one radio on next to it that was also on was playing havoc with Bluetooth, because they're probably identical devices. So I'm going to shut all this down. I'm going to take the laptop and the radio away and connect to it, and then we'll do a hopefully we'll make I'll make a video explaining exactly how to do this, because this is a novel, important feature, I think. So
yeah,
at least if you have this, why would you not, right? And if you have a $750 radio and a $50 laptop, you want to have this capability.
Yeah, go relax, watch your movie, and go lay in bed, and I'm sure it'll come to you in the middle of the night.
Oh, you know what it is? Actually, I'll show you the real secret. So this is the secret to a lot of stuff. So we're gonna go to the internet, and we're gonna say, get that out of here. Here we go. Stop. D74 Bluetooth WinLink. Hey, look, there's a ton. Hey, look, there's my video I did. And we're going to pull that up. See? Oh, you know what? There's 1,800. That's probably what the problem is. So let me. So we should have done this a long time ago.
Oh. Yeah, I'm watching a video now. Something with AF out. Yup.
Yeah.
Yep.
Configuration interface, USB function, Bluetooth. Got it. We did that. PC output. KISS is Bluetooth. Yeah. Okay. That's all fine. So okay. Wait. Standard over Bluetooth pairing. Got it. Okay. Kenwood drivers. Of course. Yeah. You must have the drivers. KISS. Yeah. We expect that to be right. Add A and B band. Start operation and D74. Follow this link. Start the host. Identify. Remember. Post. Start WinLink. Open packet session. No. I think we did all that. We might have done all this. But believe it or not, I think this website was one of the ones I looked at when I was doing it on the D74.
Yeah, what you're looking at there is purely for data, though. That's not for audio, which you'll need for Vara.
Yes, but that's literally the setup for WinLink. So that's okay. So shout out to whoever said you don't need to worry about the audio. That could be right.
WinLink over packet is different than WinLink over Vara.
You are right, sir. You are right. So if we do Vara FM, it might not be able to. I think I got advanced. I should have just went to packet. See, I was getting too spicy. Oh, no! So I was overcomplicating it this whole time. How much of your time did I waste? I'm so sorry, everybody. You can't do Vara FM with the D75 or the D74, so it's not special. Jeez, that's super dumb.
But you can with the 72?
No. No. The
Just one big
D74 's
learning experience. That's what it is.
Oh my goodness, that's insane. I know Kawana's like, I'm dead. I should have just opened it in packet. Cannot do packet. It's a KISS. It's a KISS TNC. Oh my god. Look, that's so basic.
Give up.
That's so basic. No, it's so
And the-
basic of me not to cheese.
The guy that's responding is KI6CHD.
What?
In that email that you have up there, the groups.io.
Yeah, right. So, okay, everybody. We could probably fix this in a couple of minutes. Hold on. So, okay. Hi. Hello, I'm Josh, KI6NAZ. Thanks for watching my channel. Sometimes I screw up really bad. This is one of those times. Okay. VAR FM is straight audio into VAR FM. It does all that stuff for you. It does all that back-end stuff. A KISS TNC is expecting AX25 packet to come into it, meaning you can't just jam audio into it. So the fact that I was even doing this is crazy. All right. Last hurrah. Okay, I I have to make some kind of progress here for redemption here. Oh, my goodness. So if I then change this to packet WinLink, and we open session, and I do have this on, and we go to settings, so the radio's on. KISS, yep. Okay, so the question will be, which port is it? I don't know which port it is. We have a ton of ports here. So I'm going to shoot for 9. It doesn't matter. Let's
16
just...
probably, because that's the top
one,
right?
If you're adding to the list?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with Don.
Possibly.
We'll go with Don's shot here. And you go to channel selection. And that guy is 9 kilometers from me. Okay, I don't think that's the right port because the radio's not doing anything yet.
Just unplug it and plug it back in and see what changes.
There's no plugging. It's Bluetooth.
Oh, checks out.
Yeah. Let's try 10.
Yeah.
And
try them one after the other.
Okay. It's not that one.
You'd be able to just go into your devices and right click and then go to the hardware and it should tell you what Bluetooth port it's on. What COM port, I mean.
It doesn't say it. It doesn't. We're just gonna go down this list until we find it.
So Josh, while you're brute forcing the COM port,
go for it, man.
I was watching the stream while actually working that Green Cube satellite.
No way.
If you have any questions or anything about it, feel free to hit me up. If I don't know the answer, I know the people who do.
Eric, thank you, man. That's super helpful. So
in the live I mentioned, talk to Hamstick Eric about it. He knows everything all about that one.
It's not. I don't know everything about it, but I have a couple of friends. Like I know the Karsten, the guy that wrote the software. I talked to him quite a bit.
Do you? That's awesome. Hey, do you know what's the deal with the satellite? What's going on? Why are they doing that?
So the group that manages the satellite, it was a science mission, and that mission is apparently over.
They were literally trying to go green beans on the satellite, right? They were trying to grow beans or something.
It was microgreens. I don't know what the actual
a microgreens.
I don't know what they're growing. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that mission's over. Waiting to hear back. I know AMSAT, Italy, AMSAT, like North America, a bunch of organizations said, "Hey, we want to take control of it. Please let us know if we can."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping someone does because it's basically one of the only satellites I can work. That's worth my time here in Hawaii.
Dude, that's awesome, man. What are you running to hit it?
An ICOM 9700.
Yeah.
And then I run a 15 element Yagi for UHF.
15 element. Wait, for UHF. Okay.
Yeah, you can run a 10 element, but I like to get down really low to the horizon. So like I went up to the North Shore around lunchtime so I could try and work stations in Europe from Hawaii. I was able to get Scotland and France.
Damn.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's I prefer voice, but I'll take what I can get. So yeah, it's pretty neat, especially with all the great stuff that Carson put into his terminal, because the original terminal was pretty basic, but his code for it is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's really impressive. When I was hearing it explained to me, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It's so cool. All right.
Yeah, right now, because there's only a week left, people are like panicking, and it's really difficult right now to make good QSOs, especially like you can make ones with when it's right high over above you, but if you really want the long range DX, it gets really hard right now because there's so many people on it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I hope this all gets sorted out to where like we can take it over and just run with it, because that would be the preferable situation. I bet you I'm literally going to end this live stream, and then 5 minutes from now it's going to work. So if you'd like to, KI6NAZ on WinLink, send me an email, and I will probably be replying to people here shortly. I am going to wrap things up here. I'm going to sort this out, and then we'll make a follow-on video. I'll shoot it tomorrow and post it for like Monday or Tuesday, so that you all know how to do this, because it does work. I promise you it does work. But now that I saw the packet versus VAR FM, I can't believe we spent so much time.
That page that you had pulled up before actually did mention to install the driver, even though it looks like the driver wasn't really needed.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well,
so
I have the D74 driver. How close do you think we are to that with a D75?
That's a good question. They have a new one this month, so
I will do that as well. I'll go download the driver and do a whole video. We'll do a whole thing. Because now that I spent this too much time at it, I'm sunk. I have to do this now. I have to make this work. But literally, I'm going to go hang out with the children and watch the Ham Radio Crash Course Movie Club movie for this week, which is Twister. Twister was the highest voted movie, ranked by the people that listen to the podcast. You can all also vote if you want. So I will go watch that. I've seen it many times. I love Twister. Twister's amazing. So homework for tomorrow. If you don't, listen to the podcast, that's fine. But Twister is a good movie for a fun little cow. If you haven't seen it, highly recommended. All right. Let's see. That's about it, I think. I am gonna head out. Take it easy on the Discord, guys.
Have a good evening, Josh.
See ya.
73.
Oh my goodness, YouTube and everyone else still watching. I can't believe I did the thing. I was like, wait, I knew this. Like, okay, here's a learning thing for everybody. I was daily driving the D74 for a year, and I was doing packet WinLink on the original Jankopotamus for that whole time, and I totally forgot about the VAR FM component to it. Yeah, because it's a TNC. So there you go. We all make mistakes. Anyway, we'll sort this out. I'll make a nice, tight video that answers all these questions. But that's why we do the live streams, so that we can sometimes work out problems that, we may not answer it live, but it makes a good video on the back end. So thanks so much for watching, everybody, and watching everything else and all the comments and everything. Very much appreciate you. And a hearty 73s. Let me know in the comments if you're still watching. Are you buying the D75? Did you take out a loan to do it? I'm just kidding. It's a great radio. It really is. It's just as good as the D74 with USB-C and all those other features as well. Until I talk to you again, 73. But yeah, seriously, send me an email on WinLink. I'll reply to you. Probably in 15 minutes. Take it easy, everybody. Later.